24, roger. Descend and maintain 2000.
Descend and maintain 2000, 74.
Come at 504, descend and maintain 3000.
3000, come at 504. And for Capt 724, is our traffic about our 1230?
That's 12:31 o'clock, Capt 724 now.
Okay, we got it.
Capt 724, maintain visual separation. The candidate clear visual approach, runway 4 right.
This is visual 4 right, maintain visual separation from traffic, Capt 724.
Come at 504, radius speed 170 for tower space. You just follow the Boeing 727, 1 o'clock, 6 miles right stage, descending out at 3500.
We got to hit this side with 1200.
Come at 504, follow traffic, clear visual approach, runway 4 right, maintain 170 knots, 5 mile funnel.
170 so far out.
Capt 724, maintain 170 knots, 5 mile funnel. Contact Boston Tower 162.
5 mile final, Capt 724.
Come at 504, traffic behind the left speed, Embraer 135 to the parallel runway that maintains some separation from you.
504.
Take a 570, clear visual approach, runway 4 left.
There they go, 570.
Take a 470, traffic, 1238 miles, 3,600, descending for the parallels on our deck.
I'll look at 570.
Come at 504, contact Boston Tower 132.22.
32.2, so 1 504.
Echo 5 final. We'll clear the visual 4 right at Canada 354. Station station Delta Nut Carnell. Canada 3028, Valley, weather update.
Bridge 40 and clear visual bridge, runway 4 left.
Weather 4 left, One stage edge, site maintaining visual separation, contact Boston Tower 132.22. Okay, 3222 or Canada 354.
539, maintain at least 170 knots to 6 GMA, please.
17 to 60,
Echo 539, thanks. Contact Boston Tower 128.8.
28, no.
Yes.
Capt 724, Roger. Center maintain 2000.
Center maintain 2000, 74.
I'm at 504 to center maintain 3000. 3000, I'm at 504.
And for Capt 74 is traffic about our 1230.
That's 12:31 o'clock, Capt 724 now.
Okay, we got it.
Capt 724, maintain visual separation, the Canada clear visual approach, runway 4 right.
Good visual 4 right, maintain visual separation from traffic, Capt 724.
Comment 504, we speed of 170 for tower station. Get following Boeing 727, 1 o'clock, 6 miles right station, sending out at 3500.
We got hit inside with going back 170 on 504.
Comment 504, follow traffic, clear visual approach, runway 4 right, maintain 170 knots to 5 mile final.
170 so far out, and visual 4 right, Capt 504.
Capt 724, maintain 170 knots to 5 mile final, contact Boston Tower 132.22.
5 mile final, Capt 74.
Comment 504, traffic behind the left being an Embraer 135 to the parallel only that maintain visual separation from you.
504 right. Staying as the airplane today.
Echo 570, clear visual bridge, runway 4 left.
There you go, 57.
Echo 470, traffic 1238 miles, 3,600 descending for the parallels on RJ.
Hour with 57.
Comment 504, contact Boston Tower 132.22.
Tower 128.8.
28, take it easy, 57.
Yeah.
Centuries ago, famed mathematician Katherine Johnson wrote, "The whole idea of going into space was new and daring. There were no textbooks, so we had to write them." Now, the United Federation of Planets stands on a new brink of exploration and learning, yet again pushing beyond the bounds of contemporary understanding, and for a new dawn proclaim proudly once again, these are the Voyages of.
Captain's log. A ship carrying former Dominion prisoners of war went missing a few weeks ago. We recovered critical information from the True Way colony during our encounter with the new crystalline entity that gave us a number of possible locations for the ship. Commander Chiverin and Lieutenant Irax have worked diligently to comb through the data and finally found what they believe is the location of the holding facility that the prisoners were taken to after the True Way ambushed their transport. Chancellor Martok has dispatched a commando who rendezvoused with the Thames en route to the facility.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Voyages of here on Rook and Rasp. We are following the story of the USS Serenitis as it continues its mission to explore the Gamma Quadrant. We're using the Star Trek Adventures RPG rules from Modiphius. As a reminder, we are in no way affiliated with Modiphius. We just really enjoy their game. I'm Matt, and I am going to be running your game tonight. Joining me tonight, our guest star, Ben Snyder, as Commander Morohl, son of Draktra. And then we've got Robin playing Commander Chivrin, Shawn as Lieutenant Commander Keed Haskins, and Danny DeLisle as Lieutenant Rozrin Irax. And before we get into the game real far, we've got channel points. They're down by your chat. If you haven't used them recently, you should. We definitely have lots of options for those. So if you want to check those out, you can. You can buy threat and or momentum depending on what you want to do there. Definitely click on those whenever you want. We're happy to take them, and they will definitely benefit the group or me depending on what you buy. Don't forget that you can also tip for creating NPCs and or ships. We did that last week. Hey, we're going to start off with a momentum buy. Thank you, Vamp Kitty 13 for a momentum. Or as I like to call her, Commander Halada. Thank you. We appreciate you chipping in there. Don't forget you can tip for ships and NPCs. That's definitely an option. If you have any questions about that, I think the command is tip. Maybe not. Maybe. Who knows what it is? Well, you'll just ask, and I'll tell you what it is. It's not hey, there it is. It's tipping. Holy cow, that was a lot. That gives you an idea. So that should all be set up and ready for you. If you have any questions on what you can do, it's right there. Just a reminder, we're a small channel, and so every little bit of tipping that you do helps, and it keeps the channel afloat. And helps us pay for a lot of things that create these wonderful layouts and the music and just a lot of everything. So don't hesitate to click on that or to send us a little bit of a tip if you want to create an NPC. We'll be happy to do that. So let's go ahead and open up the game. You'll notice that we were a little low on the momentum and we're pretty high on the threat already from the captain's log. What you heard was quite correct, that they are going into a very covert operation. So we find the runabout Thames out in kind of the middle of nowhere. Just no real stars around, not orbiting anything, just dead, empty space, which is surprisingly what most of the Milky Way is made up of. So we've got our three officers there: Commander Chivrin, Lieutenant Commander Haskins, and Lieutenant Irax. Do you guys want to do anything before we get the Klingon on board, or?
Rozrin is definitely going to he's going to definitely be going over their plan. Like, what is our, do we have a cover story? Like, how are we going in here? Options.
Let's why don't we have you roll? We're gonna go with control command.
Control
and
command.
Strategy applies.
Perfect. So that is control and command?
Yes, absolutely. And if either of the other players want to help you with that, that'd be great.
Oh, I can definitely help out with that. Yeah.
Just remember, as if you're assisting, is just one die.
One die.
Right. And so that makes it so that if I roll under, that has to do with critical, right? For my
If
focus.
it's a 3 or under, which is your command, you'll get 2 successes.
All right.
And the difficulty is 2.
All right. Oh. Help if I actually rolled a d20.
Yeah, those are kind of the important part of the game.
Well, I mean,
two.
if you're,
Oh.
must say, if you roll a d12 in this system,
You're golden. Well, I rolled a d6, so I was even doing better than that. There we go. I rolled 2 9s, so that is 2 successes for me. No criticals.
Did you also go ahead?
I rolled a 4, which is a critical success for me.
Fantastic. So that's 4 successes. You needed 2, so we've got 2 kind of floating momentum there.
Yep.
So let's talk about the plan. The plan currently is that the ship, the runabout, has been retrofitted to do 2 things right now. It only is currently built to have space and speed, and then also give itself the ability to kind of mess with sensors to look like a different ship. And this includes projecting a hologram over the ship. So you do have weapons. They're all but useless right now. It's going to be about getting people on the ship and getting out of there as quickly as possible. And making sure you don't get caught on the way. So you've got 2 momentum kind of sitting there. Do you want to take the time to create an advantage or an opportunity with this beyond what I've described?
Yeah, I'd say so. Rozrin would be
yeah.
all about that. If he can give them any sort of advantage, he's going to take the time to do that.
Okay. What are you guys thinking? What does that look like?
For Rozrin, it's definitely going to look like going over, because we're going to it's a Cardassian ship, right? Like that
It's a facility on a rather large asteroid. It's large enough of an asteroid that it has the bare minimum kind of atmosphere to be considered almost like it could be if it were correctly orbiting a star, it could be terraformed. But because it's not and it doesn't get the right amount of sun, it's kind of just holding on to the gases with its gravitational pull.
Okay. So what it would look like for Rozrin, since we're supposed to like get in, get out, hopefully not run into anybody, and be gone before anybody knows they're there. That would be ideal scenario in Rozrin's mind. We get in, we get them, we get out, no one knows we're there, and we're good. And so he would try to benefit that by looking at any information they have on the place we're going to see where the most strategic place to land to get in is going to be.
Okay.
That's how he would be doing that.
You've got a couple of other asteroids around. I should mention real quick, Lieutenant Verproche is with you. Lieutenant Verproche's entire job is to pilot the ship and make sure all of the engineering marvels that are on the ship keep working, because the 3 of you are not really trained to really deal with this, and that's he did a lot of the modifications here or was involved in them. So that is a big part of kind of what he does. I did have a momentum buy from Roxy, actually 2, and we're over Cap, but we're at 7 momentum now. Roxy's really buying some momentum. She's excited about it.
What was this facility before it was taken over by the True Way?
They built it.
Okay.
So, what was I saying? I'm sorry.
I was asking about where we should land. That's what Rozrin would be doing. I don't know. So the others can obviously do, whatever they feel they want to do. But
Verproche is with you. From going over the schematics of the asteroid, it looks like you have a place where you can't necessarily land, but you'll be able to hide and approach as stealthily as possible. So if you're stopped along the way, the sensor modification or the sensor kind of confusing modifications will hold up, as well as the hollow shielding. And then once you get there, you can essentially park your ship in space in such a place that it shouldn't be detectable, because it'll be behind an asteroid that has the right kind of levels of like hard or heavy metals that will block the sensors from most things. Now, if it were anything like the species you did first contact with recently, that could be problems. There could be problems with that, because they would definitely catch you. But otherwise, you should be pretty set on anything less sophisticated than that.
All right. That makes sense.
Okay, so the three of you kind of spend the time going over the plan. For Prosh, just kind of keeps watching his power levels. You know that you're taxing the reactor a little bit with this build. It's not supposed to do this, which means also that the first time you fire phasers, they probably will work, but that might blow out who knows what kind of system. The momentum should definitely be at 8. There, yep, there it goes. So kind of as you're finishing up, you know that you're supposed to meet up with a Klingon ship out here. You've been out here for probably an hour. You were early, as Starfleet does. And it's about right about on time that a ship decloaks next to you. It is a small, older ship, a Brel class bird of prey, which are the really small ones. Maybe there might be 15 people on this whole ship. And you were hailed by that ship.
Okay, so just out of character, who's responsible for taking that?
I don't know which one of you wants to do it.
I'm about to say you're the commanding officer on the mission.
Okay then. All right, that on screen.
This is the bird of prey Krell. One to beam over.
Thank you. Proceed. One to beam over, and he'll have them.
And then the little transporter pad appears. Who you know as Commander Morohl. None of you have met him, but you have read enough about him to know that he's been involved in Klingon intelligence for a while and is a formidable combatant. Like most Klingons, you'd be surprised if he wasn't good at fighting. So, go ahead,
sir. Welcome aboard. I'm Lieutenant Rozrin, Irax, Chief of Security for the Serenitis. This is Dr. Haskins, our medical officer, and this is Commander Shivrin.
I'm Morohl, son of Draktra. Do you have any Romulan ale? I'll take that as a no. Doctor, what did you say your name was again?
I'm Dr. Keed Haskins.
Keed. Interesting. Your head's not nearly as flat as they said. Anyway, I'm your specialist. Who's in charge?
This is my mission, sir.
Good enough. Right. Still a no on that ale?
Yeah, the last time we had Romulan ale on board, it went badly, so no, there's no ale.
Well, I'm here to help.
Sir, we had to clear a bunch of room for the modifications for the mission to
Well,
proceed.
Of course, the ale's contraband, so if you needed anybody to get it off the ship for you. Anything else that you have alcoholic? Anything exotic? I'll take that as a no.
Starfleet usually doesn't drink on missions.
Starfleet needs to learn how to enjoy life a little bit more, I think.
Rozrin gives Commander Shivrin a look like, I'm in trouble. just a side eye, like.
So as you guys kind of bring Morohl up to speed on the plan, which is basically to get to the facility. It has been scanned 3 times by 3 separate probes. This was kind of they were sent in different directions from a distance. So they wanted to make sure that the imaging that was picked up was correct. There does seem to be a landing area, almost like a shuttle bay, that should be pretty empty. Once you beam into that area, you should be able to enter essentially the service ducts, which much like the Jeffries tubes, but Cardassian. You should be able to enter those and move through them. If not, then you can go hall by hall and get to where the prisoners are being held. The understanding is that there are between 10 and 20 Cardassians there guarding the 7 prisoners.
You said 10 to 20 Cardassians?
Yeah, the number has changed on every pass. The first time it was 10, the second time it was 20, and the last time it was 14.
Great. Rozrin don't like that. So he's going to prepare for the 20. He's going to expect the 20. He's going to expect the worst number. We'll just say that.
Do we have a breakdown of the prisoners? Are they mostly Klingon, mostly human? Is it a mix?
There are 2 Klingons, a Romulan, and 4 humans. Or 4 Federation.
2 Klingons.
You don't know the species of any of the Federation, just that they are Federation members.
So 2 Klingons, 4 Romulans, or 1 Romulan and 4
Federation
Starfleet.
Yeah, Starfleet. Okay. All right.
So I'm just going to go back to work, getting medical supplies prepped for a variety of species.
Yeah. Rozrin will make sure the weapons are ready, just in case. He's going to hope that they're not going to have to use them, but he's going to make sure everything is charged and ready to go.
Yeah, okay.
I will keep an eye on the the schematics, going over them one last time, get them scanned into my, cyber eye.
Rozrin's starting to feel that adrenaline pumping.
So why don't we, real quick, for the guest and also for our viewers at home, kind of describe the general look, build of your characters. So, Commander Chevrin, let's talk about yours.
Chevrin is about of average height, 5'10"ish. He's got a thick, stockier build. He does have a robotic leg, arm, and eye on his, I believe, right side. He's also probably in his, I believe, mid to late 60s.
Okay. And then Haskins.
So Keed is a half human, half Klingon. His genetics favor the humans just a little bit more heavily than the Klingons. So his teeth aren't as pointed, the brow ridges are a little softer, but I have the full coloration of a Klingon. I'm about 5'11". I'm not as bulky as a Klingon, but definitely bulkier than a human. Kind of an auburn, longish hair, and I keep it tied back.
Okay. And then Rozrin?
Rozrin is a Trill, and he has dark hair, dark eyes, palish skin. His hair he usually keeps slicked back, real, he always gets it trimmed, it always looks in, always back and in place. And he has the spots. He is more slight of build than most humans or Trill might be. He's a little on the smaller side. He's chief of security, but he's, a little bit shorter, a little bit skinnier. But he's vicious. He's kind of like a kitten, You pick him up and you're gonna get. But yeah, that's him.
Okay, sounds good. All right. So, real quick, can I get?
Oh, do we get the other character?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Ben. We didn't discuss this, but you go.
Oh, that's all right. I'll do it on the fly. Yeah, Morohl looks like a pretty typical Klingon. Like if somebody pulled one right out of a book, this is what you'd think. He's a little shorter than average, and for some reason he will not stop smiling and staring at the doctor as he sharpens his weapons. He seems pleasant enough.
For a Klingon?
For a Klingon, yeah.
All right.
Downright jolly, if I have to say.
Oh yeah, you could have a cup of blood wine with this guy.
Exactly. Keed, can I get you to do me a favor?
Sure.
We're gonna have you pilot the ship because you have the best con.
I
I went and checked just in case.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I know. It's terrifying, isn't it?
I know.
Sad state of affairs.
I haven't flown shuttle since at the academy. Let's go.
So why don't we have you roll control and con, and then Ben, could you roll one dice for the ship? You're going to be rolling. We'll go with engines and con. So under a 9 is what you're looking for.
I rolled exactly a 9.
Fantastic. And this is a difficulty of 2.
I rolled a 13 and 11, so that's 3 successes.
Fantastic. So unfortunately, that we are capped at above cap because Roxy is concerned about my threat. So
Thank you, Roxy.
that one does kind of sit there as you go to warp to bring yourselves up into the area where you're supposed to be, or where the facility is. You come out of warp appropriately, kind of behind a couple of the other asteroids, and on a very quick, brief sensor scan, there is a Cardassian battleship, kind of, I would say, in orbit near the asteroid. It doesn't really have an orbit, so it is kind of there in stationary position, kind of sitting there for the time being.
Well,
How many Cardassians could potentially be on this ship?
On that ship?
Oh.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, that's what Rozrin was afraid.
Is there any way we could tap in to see their ship? I'm assuming our ship's probably not good enough for that.
Tap into what exactly?
Tap into their systems. Listen, see if we can hear chatter between the ship and the station.
You might be able to tap into their the words I'm looking for are their communications.
Yeah.
As long as they're not coded, but the likelihood of seeing anything beyond that is pretty low.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm gonna pull up the right information on this ship now. There it is. So this is Galer class, which are just slightly smaller than a Galaxy class ship. So it's about this. These are like the ships of the line for the Cardassian Union. So why don't I have who wants to try with engineering? And we're not letting for approach roll. Who wants to try with, we'll say, daring and engineering to break into the communications?
So how important is it that we do this?
I mean, it's not the worst idea.
Well, I mean, no, I'm talking to not to you because I have the talent. I'm a doctor, and I can apply that to the engineering to help us succeed in a role, and I can do that once per scene.
Sure.
So if tapping into their communications is really important, we can leverage that talent of mine.
Yeah, I mean, Rozrin has a 10, so he would not be the best one to attempt this at all, ever.
I'll be honest, I have a 12.
Yeah, so honestly, I think we should go with that plan.
Your best option here is honestly the Klingon. He's actually pretty good at it.
Oh, really?
I think I'm at a 13, and I have would this count as espionage?
It definitely would count as espionage.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, cool. So we're chatting about it, and
I mean, if you Federation types really want to know what they're talking about,
yes, we definitely want to know what they're talking about.
All right, so difficulty is going to be
nosy as ever. Difficulty
is going to be a 3. We do have a crap ton of momentum right now, and then the ship is going to assist with comms and engineering, which is a 10. If somebody wants to roll a dice for that. Before we roll, do you want to buy any dice with momentum, Ben?
If everybody else is fine with that, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we're over capped, so we got plenty. Use it.
And what am I rolling again? This would be a control plus.
It's daring plus
Oh,
engineering.
daring plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm still at a 13. So
Yeah.
And that espionage will apply.
It will, absolutely.
Okay, so I'm rolling 3d20s.
You can also buy more than one if you want to. The second one's going to cost 2, so it would be a total of 3, but that still puts you just 1 under cap.
Okay, let's
Yeah,
go
that
for
would
it.
be a good idea.
Buy a second?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
I
that'll
can roll
drop
for
us-
the ship.
Okay, that'll drop us
Yeah, that'd
down
be
to 5, and the ship is a 10 on that.
Okay. So, I got so lucky. The first 2 are both 13. So that's
Okay.
2 successes, barely.
Okay.
And then 2 more. A 13 and a 9.
Okay.
I couldn't do that. This
Shawn?
lucky guy.
Danny, did
He's
you
my
roll a
fa-
complication?
The ship, apparently the modifications messed with stuff.
Oh, no.
Apparently they messed with stuff. You know?
So I had 3 13s and a 9. I'll just say that the Klingon has done his part. He said he was a specialist. This is what he's here for, apparently, but okay.
Yes,
So-
it is indeed a 20 in front of me.
Oh,
So-
that's great.
Morohl, as you're kind of like tapping into it and working the LCARs on the Federation panel, all you can think is, what idiot put this together? This is bad. And you get to the point where you get real angry and it almost seems to fight you. And finally you're just like, I've had enough of this, and hammer your hand down and it shatters the glass on it, essentially rendering that station useless. But just as you do, it connects in quietly and holds on. So essentially what you've done is we're going to drop the ability for engineering on the ship right now down 1. So it's now to 0 instead of a 1. So just keep that in mind. That's the complication you're getting out of that.
Morohl will turn around and look at the 3 of them and just shake his head. Who did this interface?
Ferocious over there like, yeah, who,
I'm pretty sure I just did you a favor by destroying it.
Yeah, that's always helpful.
Is that
Destroying
what they
things
get called?
is great.
Percussive maintenance. I've heard somebody talk about it, but I've never actually seen it done.
Well, in any case, I think you have access to their comms.
yeah, so what you hear is Gold to Kinney, you know, you guys' best friend, right? You love this guy.
Dude, this guy, you know.
He's
So
always around.
Gold to Kinney, who is the current leader of the True Way for Morohl, you know that the True Way is a splinter sect of the Cardassians that have taken position in the Gamma Quadrant and have essentially said that they are going to continue to be the Cardassian Union and not this Cardassian Republic that came from the Treaty of Bajor, and they will do as they please. They've been kind of undermining things with the Federation. It's not come to open conflict yet, but I mean, there's been a lot going on recently, including the kidnapping of prisoners from a Dominion ship, so that could be a problem. But Gold to Kinney is kind of the leader of that group, and he is he has an open channel with the whoever is in charge at the facility. He says, "I will be back in 3 days. At that point, hopefully you will have finished your interrogation of the Federation prisoners. I know that the Romulan won't break, and I know that the Klingons might break, but they might not be useful afterwards. So focus your tasks on the Federation prisoners. I've left my interrogator with you. He will assist you in any way he needs to. So you have 3 days to break them." And the person at the facility says, "Understood, Goal. We look forward to your return, and we will have as much information by then as we can." And then the communication breaks off, and the Cardassian ship actually moves to leave.
Well, that's
Look,
great.
if we run into Gold to Kenny, y'all just get momentary amnesia. because Roger's like rifle might go off. I'm just,
Oh no,
I'm just saying. Just y'all don't see nothing.
he was
That's all
coming
I'm
right for
saying.
us.
Don't see nothing.
Oh, and with that extra success above and beyond, we can either put it the momentum back at Cap, or you can use that to get more information. If you guys want to ask any questions.
I have a suggestion. Do
Sure.
we want to see if we can try to figure out where the ship was headed, just for future information?
Do you want to use the momentum for that, or do you want to do a whole separate roll?
I was suggesting we use the momentum for that. I just wanted to put that forward to the party.
I'd be good to that. I'd be good with that.
Or do we want to get a confirmation of how many guards are now down there?
True.
I mean, either one of those is a good option. It's really up to you guys on what you want to do.
You could do the momentum for the guards, and then maybe do another roll to get like a telemetry on where's the ship headed.
Yeah. Could we just spend a momentum to figure out where the ship's headed?
Yeah.
Do we just want to do that? So we'd be at 4.
That would put you at 4.
I mean, that's still a good amount to start this mission on. It's the average amount we're supposed to start a mission on.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So what you get from the ground is that there are 25 Cardassian life signs in the facility. It looks like, from what you're getting from this scan, because it's an information spin. I'm going to give you a little more than just your standard. What you're gathering is that they are on shifts, and at least one of the shifts is currently sleeping. It's clear that you can kind of see where the sleeping facilities are, but that the space for the sleeping facilities, if they're on a 3-shift rotation, which is standard for Cardassians, there are more there than there should be. And then you do note that there are 2 Cardassian shuttles in the shuttle bay, but there's still plenty of room in there, and no one is anywhere near it. It's essentially the garage that like the cars have been parked, and nobody goes back onto the garage unless they need to. Okay. For the ship itself, the telemetry you get doesn't tell you quite, like, it doesn't give you enough information, because who knows? There could be distance, but that could come into play later. So we're gonna I'm gonna note that for a future story that it could come into play for. So when I'm prepared to tell that story, which will happen, I can give you guys more information then.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, So what do anything you want to do?
I think Rozrin is as prepared as he's gonna get, having looked at the schematics, gotten all this information. Sounds like that garage place might be a good place to, try to get in, since nobody's over there, sounds like. So, I mean, he's ready. He's ready when everybody else is to get this show on the road.
If I might offer a suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
If we can get access to environmental controls, we could apply some Axonal to the barracks where the guard shift is currently at, and effectively render them unconscious. So if an alarm does go off, we won't be swarmed.
That would require some engineering skills, which means that you're going to want to talk to your Klingon buddy.
If that's
I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm saying the Klingon is going to be the one that can do that.
Yeah.
Right. If that's something we want to do.
I mean, how likely is it to be successful and not, trigger something else? It's going to be a problem for us.
Well, that's where our commander friend over here, maybe he can punch it till it works.
What do you think, sir?
The last time I punched something, it went really well for me.
I just kind of look at the broken console and like, yeah, it worked.
So is the Federation suggesting they do something like duplicitous and underhanded rather than going in guns blazing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be a stealth mission.
If we can get if this would help us increase our odds to save our prisoners, then by all means, yes, let's stealth it instead of barging right on in.
You don't want to take on 25 Cardassians in hand-to-hand combat?
Not particularly.
Okay, good. I don't want to either. So let's see if you want. Maybe we can try to knock them all out.
I believe that winning a battle is the most onerous thing, the most glorious way.
Is that what Andorans say?
No, I believe it's a quote from Gowron, in fact.
Unfortunately, Emperor Galron is no longer with us.
Oh, no, that's Chancellor. Emperor is Kalas, and he's a figurehead.
Oh, sorry, that's not what my background says.
I probably screwed that up, didn't I?
That's all right. I don't know.
Man,
That's
it's like
good.
I typed that and didn't think it through. As though I were sick while I was doing it. Sorry.
I just roll with the punches.
Stupid COVID.
You know, Galron didn't always take place in every single battle that he was invited to.
Oh, no. I know. I fought side by side with him on several of them, though.
My father also fought side by side with him quite a bit. Is that how you got your eye?
He would wish that, yes, but no.
Mm. Well, if you
All right.
want to try this, Federation, we can see if we can knock them out.
Yeah, the environmental control. Somebody else can roll for the ship because
Well, I don't think we'd be rolling for the ship.
No, we have to
probably
Oh, no?
do that from...
Yeah, inside we have to infiltrate their
Yeah.
Oh, we have to
environmental
get in there
controls.
first. All right.
So what I'm actually going to have you guys do is roll for the ship to beam you down. So for Prosh is going to be doing your beaming. He is at an 11, and he's going to crit on a 2. So whoever wants to roll that is fine, but then we also need to roll for the runabout itself.
Okay.
I can roll for Prosh.
Okay. So, Keed, why don't you roll for the runabout, which is currently at an 8.
Not
And it
splice us.
And it doesn't crit because it's at a 0 for engineering. This is
That's
going to be a
17.
difficulty of 3. You said a 17?
That's a 17 for the ship.
Fantastic.
I got 2 successes.
Okay.
So,
no, it's fine. For Prosh, kind of enters the information in, goes to beam you, and then you start to dematerialize, and then you rematerialize almost immediately. And he kind of shakes his head and he says, "There's something. Maybe it's the asteroid here. Hold on." And he types a couple of other things, and he goes to do it again and backs off immediately again. I got it. And again, it taps a couple other things and then beams you down. So you beam into the shuttle bay of the facility. Officially, we are taking the complication range from 1 to 2, which means on 19s and 20s, you will cause complications. I know this is the first time we've done this for this stream. So just as a reminder, normally on 20s, that's a bad thing. And a complication happens and we deal with it, but now it's going to be on 19s and 20s.
All right.
So the 4 of you beam in. Can I get a roll from anybody? It's going to be a difficulty of 3, but one of you should do it. It's going to be a reason and engineering roll.
Reason and engineering.
That is a 10 for Rozrin, so he probably would not be the best.
That is an 11 for Chevron.
It's a 13 for me.
No?
Make the doctor do it. For some reason, my Klingon's not the most reasonable person.
Really? That seems... Wow.
All right. So what was the difficulty
Strange,
at?
right?
2.
All right. Do we want to buy another dice, or are we good?
You're at 4 right now.
I would be okay with buying... It's a difficulty of what now?
2.
2.
I say buy one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so that'll put us at 3.
And that is good because I rolled a 13, so I rolled a 11, a 12, and a 14.
Ooh,
Oh.
okay. Well, that's enough to get the successes.
Yeah.
It could have been a 19, 20, and 20. I mean,
In
so
match dreams. That's what we
you, Keed, you beamed several times. You don't know much about engineering, but what you do know is that felt like there was more energy than needed in that, which means that the energy kind of signature could have been way bigger than intended. And Chad has bought a momentum.
Who?
Yay,
Thank you.
Okay. Right.
So there was
Eye of the
that
tiger, everybody.
that
Eye of
beam
the
down
tiger.
was rough, guys. That was a lot more energy than normally used. I don't know what's going on.
What could that mean for us?
It means that when we beam back on board, we need to probably compensate because we're going to be beaming a lot more people back onto the runabout.
Well, we could also figure out what caused the anomaly.
It might also mean that we've been detected.
Could be.
All right. Well, that means we better move quickly then.
I'm going to ready
So-
my disruptor pistol.
Yeah,
Sure.
he's got his Rozrin has his phaser rifle. And
Yes, we decided that before the stream started, but the crew decided to take some some escalation charge to get phaser rifles. So
Type 3.
it's part of the reason they were down some momentum, but also up some threat.
yeah.
And that purchase of momentum actually puts us at 4 because we spent one, and yeah, we should be at 4.
Yep.
So you guys, you're in the shuttle bay. Can I get everyone to give me a fitness security roll? Difficulty is we're not going to put a difficulty in this, but you want a lot of successes between the 4 of you.
Okay.
Any focuses that might apply, like
Your infiltration absolutely applies.
Okay.
I'd say tactics or strategy would apply.
Excellent.
Strategy. Perfect. I've got that.
Keed is the only one that doesn't have a focus that matters, but
I got 2 successes though. I got a 6 and a 7.
okay.
I got 2 successes as well.
All right.
And I'm not going to apologize for taking focuses and healing.
No, you're good.
Yeah, can you remind me real quick how the focuses factor into rolls?
So in this situation, any dice that you roll under your security
Gotcha.
will crit because you have a focus.
Gotcha. Just 2 successes for me.
Okay. And Rozrin?
I rolled a success and a complication.
Yeah.
Come on, dice. What the?
Let me punch something again.
Don't punch
So as you
Rozrin.
beam in, you all 4 kind of just scatter nice, like quietly to like the walls and kind of just in case. And just as you guys get set, 4 Cardassians kind of come running into the shuttle bay. One of them stops at the panel, kind of up again, or the control panel near the door, and starts typing things in. And the shuttle bay doors open. There's a force field keeping you from being ejected into space, but the shuttle bay doors open. The other 3 go straight into the shuttle, and it's clear that they're prepping it.
Okay.
Chagrin's hand kind of grips the handle of his Ushan Tor at his side.
Do they seem to notice us at all? They seem to have just done their thing and gone on to the shuttle, right?
They don't seem to have noticed the 4 of you at all. You guys have effectively hidden. You got more than enough successes between the 4 of you. The complication is that they came in.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I mean, we're too far apart to discuss anything, correct?
yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Rozrin's going to just signal for us to get out of the room. He doesn't want to have to face them unless necessary, but he suspects that they're prepping to get the prisoners out of here. But
I would
suspects.
say Morohl and Haskins can see Rozrin. There's no position in where you've hidden that any of you can see all three of the others. So Chevron, you kind of put yourself in a position where you can't see Rozrin, but you can see the other two, and that can get relayed. That's not a problem. I just want to make sure that it's aware that there's
Right.
stuff and you're hiding. So like you're behind things and ducked, and there are two shuttles that are not small by any means compared to a person. So there's just some blocked line of sight.
Right.
And is the only door in and out where the one Cardassian is typing on the panel?
Yeah. No. There are Jeffries tubes. I'm sorry, Cardassian Jeffrey tubes. In a couple of spots that you could definitely use to leave the room, but also if this is any indication, they're going to be gone in a minute or two anyway.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So in that case, if that becomes apparent to Rozrin, he will just kind of signal everybody to like lay low until they leave.
And then I'll repeat the signal back to Commander Chevron.
Right.
Okay. So another minute or two, the guy at the panel finishes up, gets onto the shuttle. The shuttle's door closes. They're there for, I don't know, another 30, 45 seconds longer. The shuttle kind of lifts up just enough so it's off of the ground and heads out of the shuttle bay through the force field, and the shuttle bay door automatically closes behind it.
I'm a little worried they're going after our ship.
Yeah, want to
maybe
signal your man.
Yeah, can we see on the? Okay, so Rozrin, when they leave, Rozrin will give it a second and then come out.
Sure.
And try to round everybody up and then ask if there's any way that we can find out. The guy was messing at the panel. Maybe we could find out what they were headed.
I'm assuming our communicators were going silent so that we can't.
Right. If as soon as you use your communicator, they're going to pinpoint that somebody's or likely going to pinpoint that somebody's in the facility. Cardassian sensors are about the same level as Federation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully he sees them coming and he hides in the asteroids.
All right. Let's keep going then. The faster we get this done, the faster we're done.
Did you want to try and sabotage the sleepers?
Is that still on board, or do we need to move faster?
And make it easier. I think we should.
I'm thinking we might need to. Is your shuttle capable of beaming 7 plus the 4 of us back up onto the shuttle?
It would take 3 separate beams.
I'm wondering if we should commandeer one of these Cardassian shuttles on our way out. We may have to, as a matter of fact, if your man had to go hide in the asteroids.
We could try. I mean, my Cardassian's a little rusty.
Morohl, you feel pretty confident that you could commandeer the shuttle. Like, you can hotwire this thing. That's not going to be an issue.
If we need to get it out of here real quick, I think my Cardassian might be up to snuff. But, Lieutenant, I think it's up to you.
Well, let's give it a shot. The less people awake, the less people that are gonna get in our way. So let's try the environmental thing, and we'll keep the commandeering a shuttle option open as a plan if needed.
Okay. So Morohl, you're going to attempt to access the environmental controls?
Sure.
Are you going to take your time, or are you doing this quick?
So I have bold security as a talent on my sheet. That seems to be the kind of thing. Although, are you having me do this as a control type of thing?
It depends. If you want to take your time, it would be control. If you want to be quick about it, it's going to be daring.
How much time do we have, Lieutenant?
I'd say not much, probably. If I had to guess. I don't want to hang around here any longer than necessary.
You know what, though? I feel bad about your ship. I'm going to take a little bit of time with this. Mostly
Okay.
because my control roll, I think, will be better than my daring roll.
So we'll go.
Only by one, though.
We're gonna go with control engineering to get into the system appropriately to be able to access it. So go ahead and roll that. It's going to be a difficulty of 2.
Can anybody give me an assist on this?
I mean,
yeah.
Can I assist with that since we're also going to be instructing the environmental system to spray it full of Axol?
Sure, you can roll your control engineering as well.
Cool. Can I use my I'm not a doctor? Or I'm a doctor?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, sure. Do you want to?
This up? You're going to be an engineer.
I'm just going to say, technically, you're using your medicine. Do you want to be bold with your medicine and buy some extra dice with threat?
Also, bold and the Klingon also has bold engineering.
It's the Klingon security way. Yeah, I have bold security, so it wouldn't be quite the thing. Come on, Keed.
I literally do not need more threat, but if you give it to me, I will use it.
Maybe your forehead is a little smoother than I thought.
Yeah, Keed is like, you know what? I'm going to show this Targ-loving Klingon.
Ooh.
So, as a reminder, since you bought with the threat, bold medicine says you can re-roll one of the dice.
Yep.
So go ahead. Difficulty is 2. So go ahead and roll.
And I am going to, let's see, I'm doing control what?
Engineering.
Control engineering. And since I'm not a doctor, that's going to be rolled at a 5.
Yep.
I got 1 success. So roll
I am going to re-roll the, oh no, that's a 13. I got 3 successes.
What the difficulty is?
Oh!
Difficulty of 2.
I got, all of them are under 15, so I got 2 13s and a 14.
Okay.
Nice.
So that'll put you guys at cap on your momentum, or unless you want to spend some of it. But you open up everything. I am going to ask Keed to give me a difficulty of 1. It's going to be reason and medicine to create it correctly for the Cardassian body.
Yeah, we wouldn't want to overdose them. That's not the Federation way. That's 1 success. 2 successes. Actually, I got 2 successes. Sorry.
Okay, so we're capped at 6. Do you want to spend any of the momentum to obtain information, or do anything else with it? You've technically created an opportunity or an advantage.
Could we get the files to figure out where that shuttle was going?
You would have to spend 2 to get that.
Or do we want to? So now we've targeted the crew quarters. Do we want to target another area where they might be more active and knock them out as well? I'm good either way. If we get more information, that's great.
I think that'd be a good idea if we can find another spot that they're amassed in. Maybe we can take out a few more of them, put them to sleep.
Maybe like the mess.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have you spend 1 to kind of use the computer to figure out where they're at. And there is what seems to be there are 2 places there are more than 1 Cardassian. Really, there are probably 4 in what seems to be like the command of the facility, and there are 6 in what seems to be an interrogation area. But there are 4 Federation. The 4 Federation life signs are all there, and for the record, it's 2 humans, oh goodness, I forgot what they're called. An Adosian and a Rigelian. Do you know that if you pump this into that room, you're going to potentially sincerely hurt all 4 of those Federations? They don't members. They do not have the same. What you would need to knock out the Cardassians is going to damage the other species.
Right.
Plus, we'd have to carry them out.
Right. So, do the command area, and we'll just worry about the people in the interrogation room when we get there.
Okay. Sounds good
It's
to me.
my suggestion. It's what
Yep.
Rozrin says.
I am
anyway.
I'll need another reason and medicine roll, difficulty of 1 again, from Keed.
I rolled a 3 and a 4, which is way under my medicine.
Okay. And then
So 4 successes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from Morohl, I'll need a control and security because you are going to attempt to keep them from tracking what's going on.
Okay. Oh, so
It's a difficulty of 2.
that's
Sorry.
great because I got a 3 and a 4, and my stats a 15. So
Okay. So as you gas the sleeping quarters, it goes off without a hitch when you quickly use the panel to scan to see where everybody else is. It's clear that security has been alerted that something's going on. Commander Morohl quickly flex the response so that it's going to send the security to a different location than where you're at, and you gas the command area as well. But the facility is on alert now.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
All right, let's go. Yeah, so Rozrin will start leading everybody out.
Are you
into-
going out through the hallway?
We should probably go through ducts and everything if we can.
Okay. Right. We will have Morohl lead you because he's going to be the one with the best engineering. Why don't I have Morohl? Why don't you give me let's say an insight engineering check to kind of guide yourselves through to the holding rooms.
okay, what's the difficulty?
We're gonna call it a 3.
Oh,
And chat
okay.
just bought another momentum. Thanks,
Okay, cool.
Far Lane.
Yeah, I would like to buy at least one more die.
Okay.
This is not insight. Again, insight. For some reason, the Klingon sheet does not reflect that he has a very high insight. It's strange. Go
Could
figure.
I do an assist since Rozrin spent a lot of time looking at the schematics of this?
Yeah. It's
Area?
Nice.
it's gonna be an insight engineering.
Okay, and I just roll 1.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good with me buying an extra die?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Oh, okay. That was not great. I rolled a 20.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And then I did. Am I doing this is insight plus engineering?
Yeah.
Okay, I got 1 success.
Okay.
And it was just barely above my engineering score, so it
I
just one
cannot add
success
to
and
that.
a success and a complication. So we
Right.
lost maybe.
Rozrin, did you get any successes?
I did not.
Okay. So you lead the group through an air through the tubes, and find yourselves you come to an exit that you think is correct. You kind of hammer the door off, as gently as a Klingon would. I need all 4 of you to roll d6s on this,
Oh,
equal to your half your fitness.
oh, so
Rounded up, rounded down.
Rounded down.
so I'm rolling 4 for me.
Okay.
So, okay, so based on our fitness?
Yeah.
All right, so I have an 8. So I roll how many? Do
4.
I roll
4.
4? Okay.
All
right.
right. So
Got
there's 9 damage coming your way at each of you. As you kick the cover off, this gas floods in as though someone has gassed this room.
Oh,
Who would have done that? Crazy.
And before you can, because you do quickly pull it back, but it's too late. So there's 9 damage coming at you. Whatever you rolled in on those dice. So 1 is 1, 5 and 6 are 1, and then 2s are 2. So subtract whatever you rolled from that 9.
Okay, so I'm just verifying. So I rolled 3 1s and a 4, so I'm subtracting 3.
That's correct.
Cool.
Sorry, go ahead.
I rolled 3 2s and a 5, so 2, 4, 6. So I only take 2.
You'll take 2, yeah.
I'm actually rolling these really cool customs, which aren't the most helpful thing in this situation. So I'm gonna give me a second to.
Oh no!
I mean, these are from the ones you get out of the kits. So
yeah,
nice.
Shameless plug.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then just go by the pip. So 1, 2, and then those are going to be 1.
Okay, so I got 1. That's it.
Yikes.
Yeah.
So
well, you were first, so that kind of makes
I was first.
sense.
To be fair.
Shivrin,
So.
did you resist any of this?
Yes, I resisted 7 of it.
Okay, so
looks like the Klingon can't hold his gas.
Nor can the half Klingon.
Which is bad because, well, you probably...
If my Klingon were conscious, he'd probably laugh at that, but I'm going to take a wild guess that he's not.
Yeah, so Morohl kind of pushes the door open, and as soon as he realizes what's going on, he pulls it shut, and as he does, he barely gets it shut as he passes out, and so does Commander Keed. Because you both took more than 5 stress, so that will put you into injury. So we're just going to put gassed lungs down as an injury, and you're going to hold off on that for right now.
All right.
So the 2 of you are unconscious, although hypothetically, once the scene is over, the stress goes away. So if you guys choose to hold up for a few minutes, the scene will end, and we can go and remove that stress. But keeping in mind, if you do that, then other things could progress. It could go poorly.
Is there any way for us to bring them back?
Yeah, you could have your doctor. No, you could roll medicine.
Yeah,
like in all fairness.
What's this typo spray? This should be fine, right?
I've got the medical. I've got a giant medical kit with me, so just randomly inject us.
I would say actually, Rozrin.
I do have medicine. I do actually have, because his parents are actually like xenobiologists and medical.
So
people,
yeah, you could roll to see if you could wake them up quickly.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, you're gonna need 3 successes to remove the injury, 1 to wake them.
Okay. So 4 total?
No. If you get 1, they'll wake up, but they'll be injured.
Okay.
If you get 3, and this is per person. That we've had 2 purchases of momentum. That actually is going to put us at 7.
Okay.
Right. So what would the roll be?
Oh, I'm so sorry. It is it's going to be reason and medicine. And your first aid,
okay.
Your first aid would apply.
Yeah.
All right. So can we work together then?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I have an 11 for that.
I have for what is the
reason medicine.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's like a 12 for Rozrin.
Okay. So you'll take the lead, and I will back you up.
And how much momentum do we have?
7.
I'll take 1 if I can. If nobody,
yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna take 1 for that.
That'll put us at 6.
And then I will aid you.
Here we go. Come on, Swartz.
I'm sorry. Who are you?
God, are you kidding?
Who are you rolling for? The doctor or the?
I figured the doctor first.
Sounds great.
I don't know. There's a complication. I don't want her to treat me.
And, although it sounds like Rozrin just stabbed the doctor because that's how you heal Klingons.
The hyper spray doesn't go in the eye. Never in the eye.
Did you guys get a success?
I got 2 successes.
Okay.
I got 1 success and a complication.
Okay. Well, good news, Keed. Your injury's gone.
Oh, cool.
And you're awake. You still have stress for right now,
Right.
which is problematic because if you take more stress, you'll immediately get another injury and it will knock you out again.
Yeah, but he's awake, so he can like.
However, here's your complication. You hear the room next to you being vented and Cardassian voices in the room.
Yeah. Oh,
You can't make out what they're saying, though.
So
Pray tell, are we in the vents?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
No, you're in the workspace behind the vents, essentially.
So, do you guys hit me with hypospray concoction?
Yeah.
Probably.
It's like, what happened?
Well, the gas
apparently-
worked.
Our valiant Klingon friend has led us directly to a gas chamber.
Is he all right?
For certain definitions of all right. I'm
No.
glad we had no Romulan ale for him to try.
So I'm gonna crawl over to him. I'm gonna look him over, peel open an eyelid. Yeah, he's out. Reach into the medical kit, and I'm gonna give him an injection of.
As you reach into the medical kit, I'm spending 4 threat
Oh.
to pop us into combat.
Excellent.
As you reach into the medical kit, the Jeffries tube door gets pulled off, and normally you guys would have first action. You can spend momentum now to take first action. Otherwise, I'm going to go with my guys first.
Oh, please let Rozrin have a first action. Can we spend one so Rozrin?
It actually requires you to spend 2, and I'm absolutely fine with you doing it. I just wanted to let you know. We are currently at 6 momentum.
Are you all okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Rozrin's like, anyway, I start blasting.
And we are at 15 threat for our viewers at home. I know it says 14. I think the purchase of the threat was missed earlier when Keed used it to use bold. So,
that's great. I'm glad I
Rozrin,
did
if you
that.
want to go first, that's fine. We're down to 4
I
momentum.
am blasting these cards. Just
Because
as soon as I see a scale.
Because of where you're at, you actually cannot use the rifle. You're gonna have to use your hand phaser.
Okay, that's okay. I have a okay.
I just wanted to let you know that was the situation.
Cool. All right, what am I rolling here?
So you're gonna roll control and security. So a couple of
Yes.
things. First, let's start at the top of the thing. Sorry, I should have started this way. You have a minor action and a regular action. Minor actions can be aiming, drawing an item. I would say drawing an item makes the most sense here because you probably didn't have it out. You can also use it to move or prepare. So if you're drawing it, that's great. Keeping in mind that your phaser has charge, which means you need to decide your damage effect, which is either area, intense, piercing, or vicious.
Piercing or
vicious. Vicious does more damage. Piercing is going to ignore armor and resistance.
Let's do piercing with Cardassians. Let's
Okay.
go ahead and do piercing.
Perfect. So you are going to roll, and then I assume this is a non-lethal shot, right? Let me rephrase that. As a Federation member, this does not actually.
All right.
This doesn't apply to Morohl, but as a Federation member, if you choose to make this a lethal attack, it adds threat to the threat pool.
Yeah. All right. Fine. We'll.
So it'll be daring and security. Oh wait, I'm sorry. No. Why is
control?
this? It's control and security with a difficulty of 2, and you are actually at you're at the right range. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna roll control and security, and I get my hand phasers.
I will say that because of where you're at and how many other people are here, the complication for this shot, the complication range is 18 to 20.
Okay. Well, here we go.
Where are the Cardassians at?
They have opened the Jeffries tube. So you're looking at a probably 3 foot by 3 foot kind of squared area that you've been crawling through. We didn't really, other than Morohl was up front, we didn't really put anything in who was in what order, but we know that Morohl was up front and now Haskins is up next to him. So that leaves the two of you kind of not necessarily behind, but also you're in a cramped space, and that hints the complication range.
All right, here we go. Nada. Nothing. No complications, but I did not get any successes on that.
Jesus.
That was your complication face. So I'm like, oh no, not again.
No,
I'm just imagining the narrow window between your success rate and the complication range.
Yeah.
So it's going to go to the Cardassians again. You can spend momentum. You have 4. You would have to spend 2 to hold on to initiative, or it goes over to them.
Do we want to hold on to initiative so I can wake up?
Yeah. Well,
let's.
I have an idea.
Okay.
I could interpose myself between creating essentially a shield to try and keep everyone from being hit, because Keed, if you get hit again, you're going down.
Yeah, I've got 3 stress points left.
Yeah.
So if you want to do that, you're going to have to take initiative. You're going to have to position yourself, which I'm perfectly fine with.
Yeah.
And then you can still do something. I'm fine with you firing once you do that, but like you're going to have to hold on to the initiative to do that.
Well, I wouldn't even be able to fire because I wouldn't be able to draw.
Oh yeah, I guess you could draw and move, and those would be your major and minor.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay.
Yeah. So basically, I would like to do that to create a human shield.
Okay.
Well, an Andorian shield.
Okay, that'll put you at 2 momentum, and you are effectively blocking them. There is actually a thing called guard, which makes it harder to hit anybody but you.
I am being a tank.
Actually, you have to roll on this. Sorry.
Okay.
Difficulty of 0. The task is a difficulty of 0. It doesn't tell me what the roll is for that. That's fine. We're going to call it fitness security.
Fitness security.
Difficulty of 0, and however many successes you get is the level is the number of successes on top of their normal success they're going to have to get to fire at anybody but you.
Okay. That is 2 successes.
Okay. So basically it is now a 4 to hit anybody other than you.
Yeah.
And then it's still going to be a 2 to hit you. So it's going to go to them. Just as a reminder, Keed, you can go, but unless you wake up Morohl, once you go, all the Cardassians go at once. And you have no idea the number because you can't really see more than 2 pairs of legs.
Yes, I mean, I guess the initiative goes to them then, right?
Yeah, unless you want to hold on. You can spend the last 2 momentum that you have to hold on to the initiative. If you do, and you don't wake up Morohl, they all go at once. If you do wake up Morohl, one of them's going to go, he's going to go, and then the rest of them are going to go.
It's up to the group if we want it to go, but I'm pretty confident that I can wake him up.
I'm good with you waking. I'm good with taking initiative for you waking him up, because we could actually get more momentum from you making that roll.
Yeah.
Because you're very, very good at what you do.
Yeah, because I've got to focus in emergency medicine.
Yeah.
So
I will say this is going to be a daring medicine. So you'll spend the 2 to keep initiative then?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So this is going to be a daring medicine roll. Emergency medicine's absolutely going to apply. You might check your field medicine and keep in mind that bold is still a thing. Like, you have a bunch of options here.
Yeah, I mean, field medicine is I can ignore any increases in difficulties for working without proper tools or equipment. I mean, I've got the proper tools right now, so I didn't know if that applied or not.
Nope, it doesn't. John has bought us momentum.
Cool.
Or bought you, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I can spend a point to get that extra one, and that could fill up our pool if I roll under everything.
Cool. So that puts us at 3. Oh, and then Roxy bought one. And then
Roxy bought another one.
Another one. So that gives us a total of two in the pool. Roxy bought 1, 2. Nope, that's not Roxy. That's Mooncrow. Mooncrow bought another one. So that puts us 3 after you spent the 1 to get an extra die.
Yeah, I'm good with just doing the 3 because I'm going to fill up a hyper spray full of Cortolin. It's to help lung injuries, get you start breathing. Maybe a little bit of a stimulant to get him perked up real fast.
Did you really go look up medicine for this?
Not
game?
only medicine, I looked up Starfleet medicine.
Ha!
Nerd.
Solid.
No, I'm not so much of a nerd that I know that any of this will work on a Klingon or not.
Yeah,
but we're going to pretend I do.
Yeah.
Just throw a glass of blood wine in his face and smack him.
Klingon medicine.
Hey, don't threaten me with a good time.
That was 2 successes.
2 successes. So he wakes up. He keeps the injury. But we'll go ahead and generate 1 of the momentum back in. So you're at 4 now.
Cool.
So that will put you guys. That's my turn now. Fantastic. I don't have to spend threat.
Now, if I'm awake, do I actually get to do anything?
You can. I take that back. Yeah, you're right. You can spend 2 of the 4 momentum you have to hold on to your initiative. But again, once you go, I'm gonna go. All of my people.
So to set the scene, when I hit him with the hyper spray, I'm like, wake up now! Get him!
Morohl will wake up with like a guttural scream.
Of course.
He is not happy.
Do we want to spend 2 to keep the initiative?
It's up to you folks.
No, I think it's up to you.
Yeah,
do
it's
you,
really
do
your
you
choice.
really want to do something as the Klingon? I mean, do you have something in mind?
Klingon Rage, go for it.
Yeah, well, so this is what, a 3-foot space?
Yeah,
so
you can still your mechleth is small enough. It's designed for this kind of stuff. Which is why why you have it instead of a batleth.
Am I within range to attack them with
Absolutely.
mechleth?
Yeah, you are. You're on top of them. You may only cut off their legs, but you're right there.
That's all I need. I just need their legs. That's all I really need access to. Well, I was actually thinking about using my fire at will talent, but it would use more momentum. Is the only trick. Like I could fire. So, fire at will whenever the character makes a ranged weapon attack and then uses the swift task momentum spend, they can make a second ranged attack and ignore the normal difficulty increase from the swift task. Basically, just I can shoot twice with not having to worry about the increased difficulty.
Okay, it's up to you. You could fire twice, or you could just cut a bitch.
Well, I could also use to battle. That's another option. If I buy an additional dice for melee attack using threat, for each threat added to the pool, I can add more damage. But I have to use it for bonus damage.
Yeah. So that bolt security, which lets you add threat to get more dice, immediately spins into to battle.
Right. So.
What are you feeling there?
I mean, the Klingon in me says, like, just hack them off at the knees. So
I say you should do that then.
Yeah. I think I need to play true to form. So we'll spin the momentum. And I do have a focus in hand-to-hand combat.
All right. Do you want to buy any extra dice?
What do you folks think?
Yeah,
I go for it. It'll be cool.
I would suggest doing at least 1 with threat because that benefits your character.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm rolling 3 d20s here.
Yes.
And this is fitness.
Because of bold, it's going to be fitness security.
Right.
Because you're bold, you can re-roll 1 of those dice, and then whatever to battle says applies. This is a daring security. I'm sorry, this is daring security.
Okay.
Which is yeah.
Still pretty good. Okay.
It's daring security with a difficulty of 1, but it's opposed by me.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I make more successes than you do, then we'll deal with that.
All right. Since it's a little tricky, I might need some help with the numbers, but I'm rolling daring plus security, 3d10s, and I have a focus in hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah. So anything under 4 is going to be.
Oh yes. So I rolled a 3 and a 4 on the first 2. So those are both under my security. I got 1 more. And then a 16, which is not.
That's still 3 momentum that you generate from that.
Nice. And yeah, and then if I put that straight in that to battle, so I could buy additional die. Well, I already bought the additional dice for the melee attack using threat. Is that correct?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. And then for each threat added to the pool, I gain 1 bonus momentum that can only be spent on bonus damage.
So you're automatically going to be rolling 8 die, or I'm sorry, you're already going to have 1 damage.
Right.
Then you're going to roll 7d6.
Okay.
You have 3 more that you could just turn straight into damage.
Okay.
That you just generated, or they can go into the momentum pool. It's up to you.
These Kardashians won't have legs anymore.
I mean,
cut them.
I'm for taking them out.
Do it.
Okay.
Fast.
So I'll just add it to the damage, and then so do you want me to roll these, or do you want me to roll some numbered?
No, go ahead.
D6?
Go ahead and roll those. That's fine.
Right.
You have vicious.
Yes.
So on any of the communicator badge symbols, it's going to be 2.
Right.
And then two blips are 2, and then the 1 blip is 1, and nothing is nothing.
Okay. So 2, 4, 6 so far, and I need to roll 3 more. 8, 9, 10.
10 damage?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
Nice! Holy crap!
Remember
That's
how I
what
said it was hard to kill people? That was almost a one-shot.
So a description of what my character effectively does from my end. He gets hit with, what was the chemical that you pumped him full of? Since you put so much science and effort into it.
It was the Cordelin.
Cordelin. So I don't know if it's exactly what he needed, or maybe it just got him to freak out a little bit. He sits up screaming, immediately draws his mek'leth and looks at the first scaly face he can and starts swinging for the legs.
Yeah, so you straight hack a leg off. And that guy goes down. The other guy that's there is actually going to fire now. He's going to fire at... Let's roll red dice for that. He's going to fire at Chevrin. Difficulty 2. I did hit. They should have their stats up. I barely hit those, so I don't actually get any bonuses or anything. So it will be 4 damage.
All right.
Okay.
And I get to roll to resist for my Starfleet uniform, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's a resistance of 1, right? Should be.
Yes.
Noted. Yeah, that's fine. Yes, it's resistance 1. So you'll roll a d6.
Yeah.
Anything you roll, unless if it's a 3 or a 4, you ignore none of it.
Yeah. I rolled a I have the action die, and I rolled the 2.
Okay, so you ignore 2 of that. So you'll take 2 stress as you he kind of clips you a little bit, and that is actually all of my Cardassians. I kept making it sound like I had more. I only had 2. So
tease.
I know that was the whole point. So it is the top of the round. It is your guys' action first. I would say that you are in such a position that the 2 of you with strategy, I don't even say everybody but Keed, you're in a tight spot. There's at least 4 other people in here because these 2 would not have been unconscious when they walked in the room because they're the ones that probably vented things.
Yeah.
So you're looking at least 4 other people. You're in a tight spot. May not be the best place to have this combat. It may be better to pull the door and see if you can somehow lock it and then run.
Mm-mm. Yeah, I mean,
can we close that door and weld it shut, possibly with a
phaser? Absolutely.
Sure thing.
Okay.
So I can pull it closed because I'm right at the opening.
Okay. So you reach down and grab it and pull it shut, and then for someone to phaser it closed, you're going to have to spend 2 to hold on to the initiative.
Yeah. Otherwise, they're just going to pop it open and shoot at us again.
Yeah. Well, they'll struggle with.
Yeah.
So I just assume, Rozrin, you'll phaser it shut.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Phasering.
All right. Well, we're actually going to spot to take a break. We're going to walk away for 10 minutes, stretch our legs, hit the restroom. Hey, as a reminder, I should pull up my script. There it is. Don't forget to follow us and subscribe. It's going to be on the little bottom right-hand corner. It's over here, I think. I don't know where it's at. It's one of these spots. Don't worry. You just want to click on that and follow us. If you haven't subscribed already, you should definitely subscribe. And the little bit, your subscription goes a long way to help us out. And then don't forget that if you have Amazon Prime, you have a free subscription. You just need to link the things up, and then you can subscribe for free. It takes money out of rich people's pockets. So, I mean, that's always nice, right? That's the Star Trek way. We will be back in about 10 minutes, and keep an eye on the countdown because we should be back right as it's done. We will talk to you guys in just a few. Bye. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Voyages of. I'm Matt here, still running the game. Hey, before we get back into the game, I just want to remind you guys we have some stuff coming up. Obviously, we're doing the Voyages of on Mondays. We've got some more weeks of that. Next week, we have the first episode. I'm not running this half of the season. That's going to be a cry for help that Rob will be running. So that'll be a fun show for that night. And then tomorrow, by 7th Sea, by Leaps and Bounties, starts at 8 p.m. Eastern. Danny is running that. Danny, do you want to give us any kind of like a hint at your crew?
Well, I can tell you the title of the episode is Red Sky Morning.
Nice. Okay.
Oh, very
fantastic. Cool. No Growing Shadows this week. It's an every other week game or stream, so we will be skipping this week. Growing Shadows is our second edition, or is our Ninja Crusade second edition game. So it'll come back on the 27th, but the Voyages of and 7th Sea are both every week. So is Illuminated Page, which will be coming up on Sunday. I'm in that show, and so is another Haskins. Shawn plays a Haskins in that one too. You should come out for that. It's actually been a lot of fun. This last game, we learned a lot of things, and we surprised our storyteller with how much she didn't have to do. We would just talk for 3 hours, which is how Call of Cthulhu games
creepy
go.
Fezzes.
Right. Well, God, that was creepy. You should definitely come out and watch that. If you miss any of our shows, don't forget you can go over to our YouTube channel. They're available all there almost right away. It can be a day or two sometimes, depending on how quickly we get them downloaded and uploaded, because it's kind of a pain. But definitely want to check those out over there. And then don't forget, we have our Seriously Let's Play rounding out the end of the month on the 29th. That's going to be Battletech Time of War. And then on the 5th, we're going to kind of switch it up, but still not switch it up and play MechWarrior Destiny. Those are both at 2 p.m. Eastern. I'm sorry, Leaps and Bounties is a little different on time frame. It's at 8 p.m. Eastern instead of 7 p.m. So tomorrow night we're just gonna be starting an hour later, and that's the normal time for 7th Seas. Don't forget, you got channel points that you can spend. I know that we've got a bunch of momentum tonight, which has been helpful. You can buy threat. You don't need to tonight. Really, I have enough threat so far. Who knows? But you got both of those as options. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, and maybe Amazon subscribe and take away some money from a giant corporation. Oh, hey, there's some tipping that you could do to make NPCs. I'll also let you name ships if you really want to. We now have the USS Ska, which is definitely flying around somewhere in the Gamma Quadrant. It is a New Orleans class ship that was created last week by one of our players, because that's what he likes to do. I appreciate Phil putting that out there. So let's get back to the story. So you guys are in the Cardassian Jeffries tube. You've sealed that doorway. Where are you headed?
Back.
Not the way that we just were trying to go.
Yeah. So we'll
couple of options. They likely have vented all of the gas, so the sleeping chambers might not be a bad idea. You can go back to the shuttle bay. There are a couple other places you could go, like the mess or even the holding cells. Just need to know where you're going specifically.
Rozrin's going to suggest the holding cells, actually. Because if we can get the 3 of them out, then we'll at least have them, and then we can try to break the Federation prisoners out of the interrogation room. That's my suggestion, anyway.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. So, who wants to lead? Again, it's going to be an insight engineering to get you there.
I can help with the engineering.
I would also say infiltration. That's going to apply as a focus. So if Morohl wants to make the roll, that's an option.
Another insight engineering.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm at an 11 unless anybody wants to.
I'm also at an 11, and I'm willing to give it a try.
Okay.
It's better than me. I'm going to be at an 8.
Yeah, I've got an 11 as well. So go
Would-
ahead, Shivrin.
Is there any chance I could apply planet-side survival to this?
No. Nope.
There was a hope.
So go ahead and roll. You've got a difficulty of 2.
Yeah, do you want an
2?
assist on this?
An assist would be nice, yes.
Okay,
Cool.
I will assist.
I
And
say
I
as
got
I
one
roll.
success.
I say as I roll 3 successes.
Okay,
Okay.
you
And
got
s-
4 altogether now.
Okay,
Cool.
so that will get 2 momentum. That puts us at 5 momentum. And we are we are still at 16 threat. I was just checking that.
How
Just in
much
case.
momentum are we at?
That puts us at 5.
At 5. Instead of that, do we want to spend those 2 to create an advantage?
What do you
I
have in mind?
Possibly something that the holding cell Jeffrey's tube is unmanned or something to that effect.
I would suggest actually creating a problem instead.
Oh,
So you can spend 2 momentum to create a problem. Mechanically, it's just going to make it harder for them to do it. It increases the difficulty by 1 for every 2 momentum. It's for a specific task. There are only so many non-Cardassians in this facility. Them targeting you is going to be relatively easy. You could make it harder for them to target you.
okay.
I mean, you're
That's
in the
what I'm
control centers. You could stop and
Oh,
pull some wires, or essentially.
That sounds
Smash things, maybe?
or just
like
shoot a computer bank.
Yeah.
Or
So-
I could with Moreau's help, I could hardwire one of our tricorders into one of the panels to mask our biosignatures while we're running around.
Do you want to leave tech behind?
Probably not.
Good point.
Yeah, I know.
I
It's a
just
good
like the-
idea.
I just like
now,
the idea
Morohl
of
might know enough about the Cardassian tech to mess with it, possibly.
Okay. Well, and again, if you want to spend the 2 momentum, I'm just gonna no roll. Just it will. That is a create a problem. Is a momentum spin.
Ooh.
I mean, if you want to just spend some, then Morohl can just mess with some of the wiring. And
Yeah. Oh, let's spend the
Yeah.
2. Spending the 2
Okay.
for
Okay,
creating
perfect.
a problem.
Cool. So now it will be harder. I'm not gonna the mechanics for this are, I think, a little on the weak side. So we're just gonna make it so that they cannot effectively track you.
Okay.
So so you guys move into the detention center without much of a problem. I need all of you to give me let's say presence security, and presence security. Infiltration or tactics or strategy would apply. So basically,
difficulty?
everybody but Keed can do it. Can get bonuses.
Well, I got 2 successes, so I'm good.
This is another one where there's no specific difficulty. You just want as many successes as you guys can get cumulatively.
I got 2.
I got 2.
4, 6.
Oh, wait. That would be 3 because I rolled a 2s, and that puts me under my security, and I have strategy. So that would
Fantastic.
give me
So that's
Nice.
9. So as the 4 of you kind of creep out of the Cardassian Jeffrey's tubes, doesn't seem to be that you've been noticed by the people in the area. There is a guard. The Jeffrey's tubes, although are behind him. Hold on just a second.
At least that roll went well.
Yeah.
Oh, really well.
So do we want to take out the security guard? I mean, stun
Yeah.
him?
I wonder
Probably
if you could
should.
just hit him with your what other
Medical
medicine
bag.
you got in there? You want to just knock him out?
Sneak up behind him and just knock him out? Yeah, we could do that.
There, my Klingon friend, there is nothing dishonorable about a knife in the back, or in your case, a medical tricorder, I guess.
A hypo spray?
Yeah.
I still like
Oh, is
the
that what
idea
you
of
call that?
Yeah.
I like the idea of instead of a hypo spray, you just take the entire kit and just bash him on the back of the head with it.
Yeah, you want to straight Bobby Hill him.
Yeah, I will Bobby Hill him.
That's
I don't know you.
I don't know you.
We will say with the number of successes that you got between the four of you, you kind of pull out of the Cardassian Jeffries tube, and you just clock him real hard in the back of the head with your medical kit, and he drops pretty quickly.
Huh, you're right. Smashing things does work.
There's wisdom in the Klingon way.
Is that a new
Sometimes.
value for Kedra? Is it just going to go on there? Smashing things does work.
Smashing thing works.
You're kind of at the, like, he's essentially the guard outside of the cells in the interrogation room. You can hear in the distance what sounds like a human screaming.
At 4 lights?
Yeah.
So,
all right. Well, we took him out. So, what else is around? We hear the screaming. Do we see anything else around?
There are in front of you, like opposite of the little security desk he was behind, is a door that leads into the rest of the station, and behind you are kind of one door on each side of the security station. You know that to the right, looking at the two doors, is going to be the holding cells, and to the left are going to be the interrogation rooms.
And Matt, remind me, because I'm drawing a blank, the Dominion didn't necessarily abuse their prisoners, correct?
No, they kind of did. There's a whole episode in Deep Space Nine where they essentially make them fight.
Well, yeah, Martog was fighting, it was Martog
but
and Worf
to
were
the
going...
death, and then anytime they did anything wrong, it could end up in death. It was a
That's
very
true.
severe kind of situation.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, because we don't know what condition these prisoners are going to be in then.
It would be expected that because of the way that the treaty was signed, and this is part of the treaty fulfillment, they were in good condition before the Cardassians got a hold of them.
Okay, cool.
It'd be really bad if they were releasing prisoners that were on their last legs.
Yeah.
So our options are go to the holding cell together, go to the interrogation room together, or split up between the two first.
You should definitely split up the party. That's a great idea.
Hey.
Classic move.
Yeah.
Hey.
When you schemed
it was
earlier,
an option. I didn't say it was a good one or we should do it. I just said it was an option. Those were kind
You're
of
in charge. Just tell us what we're going to do.
as a reminder, earlier in the interrogation room, there were 6 Cardassian life signs.
Right.
Yeah, but they keep insisting there are 8. It's real weird.
Yeah. Considering that the holding cells are probably in the interrogation seems more immediate, I think all of us should make our way to the interrogation room first.
Okay. Let's prepare our phaser blasters so we can kick down the door shooting, sort of.
Yeah,
the door kind of like slides open. If you kick it down, it's just going to not open. It'll get stuck.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any way we're going to avoid this fight to get them out of here. We're just got to be prepared and go in.
Okay, so who's going in first?
I'll volunteer to go in first.
Okay.
Have we changed?
Oh yes,
scenes
I'm
yet?
sorry. Yes, you have changed scenes, so all your stress is gone. Although Morohl still has an injury.
Before we go into combat, can I use medicine to remove that injury at all?
You can attempt to.
Gas
I'm gonna pull the tricorder out, scan him, and see what I can do, and I can apply field medicine to this because I might not have the right equipment, but I'm going to trust his Klingon physiology and whatever I can inject into his system to get those lungs functioning correctly.
It is daring and medicine.
Okay.
Difficulty is going to be 3.
Okay. So with the field medicine, I can ignore any increase in difficulty.
It's not. Yeah, the difficulty isn't necessarily that you don't have the stuff. It's that you're in a cramp for time.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna buy a momentum I figure removing the injury will be better for this.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so I'm buying 1 momentum. And
your xenobiology or emergency medicine, either one is a good focus.
Yep. Unfortunately, no extra bonuses, but I did get 3 successes.
Fantastic. So we'll go ahead and remove that injury from your sheet. Dr. Haskins plugs you up with a couple of like hypo sprays that relax the lungs and allow them to kind of regenerate a little bit.
A little stimulant.
It's not comfortable, but you can breathe easier. So all your stress is gone. Nobody's got any injuries now.
Sweet.
You're a credit to your house, Doctor.
I'm a credit to the Federation. My house doesn't recognize me.
I think you might be surprised if you talk to House Strata a little bit more often.
The only time they ever want to talk to me is when they need something.
Maybe they need something now.
Perhaps, but I don't think now is the best time to discuss this before we go into a firefight.
Then let's get the prisoners out.
I'll say this isn't a Sunday social. Let us proceed.
So the doors open, and what you see in front of you are 4 Cardassians who are prepared for this combat. They have turned over tables, and have their disruptor pistols kind of aimed at the door. And there's one at the back who is pretty well blocked by the Federation, the human on the table that he's torturing. That he's just, from a quick gaze, he's torturing just to get the sound out of. So that you have walked into an ambush.
It's a trap.
Yeah. So they are going to go first, unless you want to spend the last 2 momentum to supersede that. They are going to go first.
I say just let him go.
Yeah, it's only 1 attack.
Fantastic. So you think.
Hey.
So the first one's going to fire. I'm rolling 3 dice because they have a thing called ambushes and traps. That as long as they have the chance to ready a task, they can use an extra dice. And I'm going to spend 3 threat to get 2 more dice.
Ooh, okay.
And they are firing on the commander.
Yeah, he's first.
Well. What was my...
Doesn't sound good.
Oh, no.
Is that good for us or him? I don't know.
I think for us.
I got the appropriate number of successes.
Okay.
Barely.
Oh.
Did you get any complications?
No, I did not. Although I don't think you get complications from me.
Aww. One of the Cardassian trips. Shoot another in the foot. Come on.
So, yeah, he definitely hits. Yeah, we're using rock pistols. Nice. So that's 8 damage.
8 damage.
Ooh.
Barely hit you, but...
God dang.
Remember, you have 1 resistance?
Yep. I did roll 2 on the effect die, so I only take 6 damage.
Sweet.
Which, so you suffer an injury and do become incapacitated. Right? No. You do suffer an injury. So we're going to say it hits you kind of squarely in the arm. Your your biological arm. So we're just going to call you've essentially got a limp arm.
Yeah.
It would be your turn. I'm going to pay 2 to hold on to it.
Oh no! Come on!
Another one is going to fire. He's only going to buy 1 extra dice. Oh, which gives me 4. 1, 2, 3 successes. So he does hit as well. He's actually firing at the Klingon. behind you.
Ah.
Which is an extra. One. So that's 6 damage to the Klingon. You roll like
Okay.
4 resist though.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes him mad.
Yeah.
It's just fuel for the fire. So I roll 46.
Yep.
Okay.
Fire. The effect is 1. The 1 is 1, and then 2 is 2.
Okay. So subtract 4 from that.
So you'll take 2 damage as it kind of again glances off, and then now I am going to let you guys go. So.
And I'm just angry.
Yeah, I'm just mad.
Who wants to go?
Rozrin's going to aim and fire his phaser rifle.
Okay, so
he's going to take aim as his minor, and he's going to aim.
So you're firing the rifle?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So you're going to take the aim, which means that you can re-roll any number of the dice you roll. Difficulty is always a 2 when you're firing. Do you want to spend any momentum on this? You have 2 momentum in the pool.
I'll take 1 for an extra die, if that's okay with everybody.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can regenerate.
And before you fire, we need to decide what charge is going to be. Is it area, intense, piercing, or vicious?
Piercing.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and fire.
Yes!
Redemption.
Yes! Yes! I will take 5.
Oh,
2 crits.
You vaporized it.
Oh, that's great.
Okay, so you're going to generate 3 momentum. You can just automatically turn those momentum into successes or into damage. So you would start with 3 damage and then roll your normal dice. Or you can turn them into normal momentum.
Where are we at on momentum?
I'm sorry, what?
Where are we at on momentum?
1.
Can we split it up? Can we
absolutely.
All right, so let's do 2 momentum, and I'll take an extra die for my damage.
Not an extra die. You just do 1 damage.
Oh, do 1 damage. Okay, so
Yeah.
I got 1 damage already, and then I'm rolling my damage here.
Yeah, which should
is
be like
how many for my rifle?
So it's going to be 4 plus. So it'll be 7. No, I'm sorry, 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So and chat has bought Threat. Thanks, Gina.
All right. So we are looking at 1 is 1, 2 is 2, right?
Yep.
3 and 4 are nothing.
Okay.
5 and 6 are 1, but also piercing.
Okay, so I got 3 6s.
Okay.
And so that's 3, 4, 5. So 7 total with those 7 dice. 3 are piercing. Okay. And then my last one is a 2. So that's 9 total. 3 of them are piercing.
He drops.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Good shot.
And
just click, click, boom!
do you have a D4 by chance?
I have a D4 right here.
Yeah, just go and roll a D4 for me, because we didn't dictate who you were firing at. So 1 and 2 have already taken their turns. 3 and 4 have not.
That would be a 1.
Okay.
I rolled a 1 on the D4.
So you killed one of the guys that already fired, which is fine. So it's going to go back to their turn. Do you guys want to spend 2 of your 3 momentum for to hold on to the initiative?
Anybody have anything they want to?
I would like to go. I'm worried I'm going to drop soon. So I'd kind of like to go before I drop, but I'm also okay waiting.
I could try and stabilize and heal you too.
So we can't heal. Technically, we can't heal stress in active combat. So keep that in mind.
But does the injury keep him from fighting effectively?
No.
Okay.
No. Just once he has an injury, if he takes stress while he has an injury, he falls unconscious.
Gotcha. Okay. So I guess there's not anything I can do. Sorry.
Yeah.
I say we
That's
should
fine.
spend the 2 and let him go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say keep
To
going.
at least do such.
That'd be
Yeah,
fine.
so we're spending the 2 to let
Okay.
Chevron go. Hold on
Yep.
to initiative and let Chevron
Alrighty.
go.
All right.
Remember, you have a minor action, and I assumed everybody had their phasers out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the guy that was torturing the Federation officer, has he gone yet?
He has not.
I'm going to focus on him,
Cool.
and I'm going to spend a point of determination. Fleet is family.
Sounds like it's a
Nice.
solid spend.
So that is 2 successes against him already.
Okay.
This is
This is-
control
This
security,
is
right?
Yeah, control security.
All right. That is 3 successes on the dice for a total of 5 successes.
Okay, give me just a second. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find my
Oh no, you're fine.
Cardassians. There they are. Okay. So you have 5 successes. So you generate 3 momentum. Do you want to? Those can go into the pool or become automatic damage.
Let me see how many die I have to roll. I'll go ahead and put those into the momentum pool.
Okay, and then you're going to roll 8 effect dice.
Yes.
8d6.
That is a lot.
Nice.
Oh, I'm sorry. Real quick. Hold on. Sorry. Your rifle, are you using it as area intense piercing or vicious?
I was gonna go with piercing.
Okay, cool.
So that is 2, 4, 5 damage that is piercing, and 3 damage that is not.
So 8 damage. So you as you fire, the interrogator is behind the kind of this interrogation table, so you're careful about it.
Mhm.
But he does take damage. He seems to be hit but does not go down.
Okay. And then because I have the veteran's talent, I get to roll an action die,
And
and I get to keep my determination point.
Okay. So you did succeed on that?
Yep.
Fantastic. Right. So it goes back to me, right?
Yep.
Fantastic. So the interrogator will raise his disruptor rifle. He's going to aim, and he'll fire at Rozrin. So it's a ready action. We're going to spend 1 threat to get an extra die. And that doesn't apply. 15. So that's 3 successes. So the one I'll automatically take is extra damage.
Okay.
And then you have 1 resistance.
Yeah.
So you'll roll a d6, and then we'll subtract that away from the damage.
I got a 4.
Which is not enough. So you'll take 6 damage.
Yeah.
And you'll take an injury. We'll say that you got disruptor burns as it hits you pretty hard.
Right, got it.
And the combat will pass back. Will pass back to you. Yeah, you guys. So Keed or Morohl.
If you want to go this and take one of them out this turn, that's cool.
Yeah. So how many Cardassians do we still have up in the room?
There are still 4 up in the room. One of them in the back has been hurt but not down. 2 of them have not acted.
Okay. The one who's been shot at already.
Mm-hmm.
I will. I'm gonna aim, and then I will attempt a shot with my disruptor. It's vicious.
Yep, absolutely.
And take a shot at the one that was standing up behind the one that was doing the interrogation.
Fantastic. Go right ahead.
Okay. And with that aim action, I can do a reroll if I need to on one of my die.
Yeah, you can reroll one of the dice.
Right. Sorry, I should ask. This is
Difficulty of 2.
okay. And what am I?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's controlled security.
Control. Okay. So just got it. 2.
Okay. So you will roll. Oh, I don't remember. 7 dice.
So 6. 2 of those have effect. It's vicious.
So that's actually 8.
Okay. Oh, that's right, because vicious doubles up.
He goes down.
Okay, and what are we at on momentum right now?
We're at 4.
Does anybody care if I use momentum for a swift task to take another shot at one of the others?
Oh,
Yeah,
please
go
do.
for it.
Go for it. Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
Do
so
it.
I'm going to use my fire at will trait,
Okay.
or feat, sorry. Basically just says whenever the character makes a ranged weapon attack, uses the swift task momentum spend to make a second ranged attack, I can ignore the normal difficulty increase from swift task.
Fantastic.
So I'll aim at one of the others.
Okay.
And I have not used my aim reroll. Could I still apply this to this roll? I think it's within the
Yeah,
round.
it says before the start of the next turn. So yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And are you firing on the one that has gone already, or one of the two that has not?
I don't know that it makes a difference. Does anybody have a suggestion?
One that has not gone yet would be good. So if you drop them,
Right,
they
because if I could
don't
drop
get to
them,
go at
okay,
all.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I got 2 successes on that. So
Okay. So
I was thinking about re-rolling, but I'm not just going to take them.
Yeah, roll your 7 dice again.
Okay.
And any of these shots, you can use your bowl to give me threat and hit.
Oh, well.
Which
Sure, that
plays
sounds-
into to battle. Like, there's a cascading effect on purpose on your character.
So 10.
Jeez. Okay.
I rolled 4 of those on effect. So
yeah, that one he goes down too.
okay.
Nice.
All right, that's it from me.
Okay, so I have one person left. It's gonna.
And surprisingly, he seems pretty calm, cool, and collected when he's shooting at people. When he's whacking them with the mek'leth, he's all Klingon. But
I am spending 3 threat to get 2 extra dice. That's gonna put us at 7 threat. 1, 2, 3. No, 3.
Is he going for the Klingon?
Yeah, he's firing at the Klingon. So
That would make sense.
he really should.
Definitely hits you. One of them's going to be. I generated 1 momentum, which is just going to be used for extra damage. So that's 7 damage, but you have armor.
Yeah.
And Brock lol. Lol.
Well, do you need me to roll for that again, or you got another attack?
No, that's it. That's all I got.
Okay. So roll 4 d6.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. 4, but one of them's an effect die. Does that count as a 1?
No, that still counts as a 1. Yeah.
Okay, so 4 altogether.
So you'll take 3 stress.
Gotcha.
Keed. Did you go, Keed?
No, not yet.
Go right ahead.
All right, so seeing what the Klingon has done, I'm like, in my head, he's like, all right. He's going to really bear down. I mean, he prefers more hand-to-hand, but I'm going to use one of my determination points.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use it. There's no higher calling than to serve, and I'm serving by saving the Federation officer that's in there. I mean, that's
Sure.
what I do. Okay, so that's one. That's what, one success,
2 successes.
2 successes, and then I'm rolling security,
Control and security.
control, and security. I rolled a 2 and a 15, so
nice.
that is going to be 2 successes on the 2.
How's the 2 of 2 successes?
Well, my security's a 2. Oh wait, I don't have any focuses.
Yeah, you do. Hand, or no, you don't. Hand
No, I don't.
combat is.
Yeah, no. So it's just 3.
You need to update or upload an updated sheet, FYI.
Oh, was it all out of whack?
Yeah. I got you to security of 1.
Oh yeah, no. Security's 2.
Okay,
I'll get
cool.
it updated. Sorry about that, Matt.
No, not a problem.
So I do get the 2 successes then.
You got 4.
4.
Yeah, so you have 4. So you're either going to generate 2 momentum or turn those into 2 damage.
I'll put 1 momentum in the pool and 1 damage.
Okay, and then you'll roll. You're firing your rifle, right?
Yeah. So that's 8.
So, no, it is 6 for you.
6.
It goes off of its security plus the damage, the base
Gotcha.
damage for the weapon, which is 4.
Gotcha. And this will be piercing.
Okay, cool.
Oh no!
So that's a 4. That's a 4. That's a 5.
Oh,
Okay,
A 4.
wow!
A 3 and a 2. So I got a 2 and a 5.
so 3 damage.
Yeah. Plus the 1 that
So
I pumped in.
6.
So 4 damage.
Yeah.
Cool. He's still. So that'll
I'm
go
a doctor.
top
What can I say?
I'm
That
a
will-
doctor, not a soldier.
I'll go top of the round. Fire. There are only 2 people left in the room, if my math is correct.
Yep, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's one that
So
we're
we're gonna call the combat because Star Trek is not about combat. Honestly, you guys have overwhelmed them.
But the Klingons, but glory and honor and killing things and
we should have you on for a Fallout game where it is about combat, and boy, does that
Ugh.
combat get real bad. Like it's gross.
no, then I'd be
It's
running
so
away.
bad.
I'd be like, no, I want to go back to the Federation.
No death clause.
All the
Oh,
death claws, only death claws. So you quickly dispatch the other 2 Cardassians. It's like honestly, you're gonna go and probably hold on to the initiative. They're both gonna be gone. You enter the room, and the officer on the table, as you approach, Chivrin, you ran a mostly Andorian ship, correct?
Yeah.
You did have other officers underneath you, and you see one of your former officers, a lieutenant that served with you on that ship, and as far as you knew, or as far as you know, was a casualty in the war. Like his escape pod was destroyed during that fight. It's one of the small handful that got destroyed.
Yeah.
But he's in bad shape. Kind of without going into too much detail because there was no warning ahead of this episode, but he has been tortured and it shows.
Doctor, quickly.
I'm going to push Chivrin respectfully out of the way and get to work. Commander, I've got this. He's going to survive. It's not a problem. He's not going to die.
What does your triage do?
Triage, when I attempt a task to identify specific injuries or illness or to determine the severity of a patient's condition, I can spend 1 momentum to diagnose 1 additional patient.
Okay.
So this is not a triage situation.
No. So roll reason medicine for me.
Okay.
Xenobiology? Emergency medicine would work.
Emergency medicine would be what I would go for. Nice. That is a 6 and a 2, so that is 3 successes.
First of all, he's missing a molar. which I know sounds really dumb, but you know that's a Cardassian thing. All criminals are missing molars. That's how they identify. It's kind of like fingerprints in modern society. That's established. That's a known established thing. He is in such a way that you are able to prep his body enough to be transported, but not moved.
Okay.
And I relay that back to Commander Shawn. I have him stabilized. If we can get him to the ship, he is going to make it.
All right. Well, we have our marching orders then.
We need to find the others.
Well, the whole so there was only one prisoner in this room.
Correct.
Right. So let's go check the holding cells.
Perhaps the doctor and Morohl can stay here and watch the prisoner and see if anybody comes here, and we can go check the holding cells.
Well, I mean, the holding cells are like less than 5 feet away, aren't they?
They're more than 5 feet away. You're gonna have to go back out to the main room and then into that room. But honestly, there's not a lot of there's not just a lot of difference between the two. There has been a momentum bought, so that puts us at 5 momentum is what I've got us at.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I will offer to stay back with the patient so Morohl can go with.
Lieutenant, do you want me to come to the holding area? There may be more prisoners in need of medical attention.
Is he stable enough that you can leave?
As long as he's not being physically moved, yes, he's stable.
Okay, then. Why don't you... We'll go. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll take... So I guess we can leave Chivrin and Morohl here, and we'll just go check the holding cells real quick.
Well, I'm worried that there's going to be another fight at the holding cells, is the thing.
Well, I mean, our option is we all go, but therefore...
Can I suggest something to the Federation? Your man's probably not going to get any worse anytime real soon. Why don't we all go?
Yeah.
He's not going anywhere. I doubt anybody's going to come back in to do a little bit more torture on the guy while we're trying to, liberate the place.
So...
But you're in charge, Lieutenant.
Commander, I need to remind you, you took a disruptor hit pretty hard. Are you going to be okay if we get into another fight?
Well, I'll have to be.
All right.
Okay, then. I mean, my main concern is somebody was going to come in and just kill the prisoner. Was my main concern.
Is there only one entrance into this room, Matt?
Yeah.
As long as we keep an eye on the hallway, we'll know if someone comes in here.
Oh, okay. All right.
I hope.
Let's do that then. I mean, if someone can keep an eye, maybe from the main room or something, and that way they know if we need them in the holding cells or they can let us know if somebody's coming the other way.
Okay.
That'll work.
So you guys exit the interrogation room, go back out into the entryway for the the holding area, and then into the holding cells. There are 2 cells. One of them has 2 Klingons and a Romulan, and the other one has a Rigelian, an Adosian, and a human. They all are generally beat up. They're not bad. They're walking wounded, essentially. And you are kind of greeted. Morohl, you see both of the Klingons look no worse than you would expect, and they both kind of salute you as you walk in. The Romulan seems pissed, but that that's just a general Romulan.
That's a Romulan.
That just makes me happy.
Par for course.
Yeah, and then the Rigelian and the Adosian look fine. The human might have a broken arm, but again, this is nothing terrible.
All right. Well, let's get these cells open.
Can I get whoever's going to try and open up the cells, I need you to give me a reason and security to bypass what they've got here.
That's pretty high for me, actually. It's
What's the
Well,
difficulty? Do we need to buy a momentum?
It's going to be a difficulty of 2.
Okay.
And can someone aid her in this? Aid him in this?
Yes,
yeah.
You
All
said
right.
reason security?
that's correct.
Yeah, I can definitely aid.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Ah, excellent. Okay. I got 2 successes on that.
I got 1.
Okay. That'll generate a momentum that'll put you guys at cap right now, so you'll be at 6. You have to work through the security. They have specifically like triple locked these to keep you out and to slow you down. It's clear as you're working through it though that you're giving off alerts that you're of where you're at.
Great. Great. All right.
I'll
Well,
keep
I
a very
mean-
close eye on the door in the hallway.
Yeah. We work as fast as we can, I guess, trying to open these things up, get everybody out of here.
So as you open the doors or open the force fields, the Klingons come out and kind of like gruffly greet the commander. Face punches and shin kicks, whatever Klingons do.
Headbutts.
Yeah, yeah. And then they kind of head out to the entryway.
Are they
I'll offer
armed?
one of them a mechleth. They may or may not need it, but
Yeah.
Well, we can also grab disruptors from the Cardassians.
Yeah, the
Oh,
one you offer it to
point.
says, I heard the firing. I'm sure that there are weapons in the other room, and that they both head in there to grab it. The Romulan like dusts himself off, looks super pissed, and like kind of walks out and like just waits for you guys to do something. And the 3 Federation members kind of come out.
when the
as you-
Romulan passes, I'll say, "You owe me an ale."
Agreed.
I'm gonna,
So
Can-
I'm going to
so-
suggest that we pass phasers off to the Federation.
well, I'm
Officers.
gonna grab to the Federation, and if we can find a stretcher, if I need to spend momentum to create that opportunity in this holding area, grab a stretcher so we can go get the Andorian, so we can.
Moving the Andor, it's a human, but moving the
Oh,
human
sorry,
off
human.
that table is going to hurt them.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
You're
we're just gonna
literally
leave
gonna
them
have
there.
to transport them from that table into
we could beam
the
them.
makeshift.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully that surge. No.
So you guys, one of you goes to hit your comm badge, and it does not respond.
Well,
Key just sighs.
Problem?
Winkler wasn't on the shuttle or the runabout, was he?
No. Proprosh was the one up there. But also, if they know you're in the facility, they probably
Pressing.
dampened everything.
Mhm.
Right. I mean, did we have some? Was it just the comm badges that we were using to keep in contact?
That was the plan. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Anybody have any idea why we can't get through?
They're probably jamming the signal. We might be able to relay if we had something stronger to send a signal out.
If
Maybe
we
one
get
of the. I was going to suggest the Cardassian runabouts.
you think we could? Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
There is that shuttle in there.
Any
Well,
chance the
we'll have to
Cardassian
leave.
shuttle?
We'll have to leave your injured friend and try to get the shuttle and teleport him from there. Then.
The Cardassians probably also have comms on them. We might be able to use their own comms to boost the signal so that we can get
and
a lock on them.
The security desk also is a full-on computer. You could attempt
Okay.
to utilize that as well.
Oh,
Let's do that.
I got security, so I could try to break through that.
What was your question, Rob?
Oh, I was just wondering if the Cardassian shuttles could beam folks.
Oh, that would be Insight Command.
All right.
To know, it's going to be a difficulty of 3.
Yeah, I got 2.
Okay, you're not sure. Honestly,
Yeah.
you're not sure if their shuttles have transporter technology or not.
Mhm.
So you go out to the. I'm sorry.
So no, go ahead.
You go out to the console where the first guard was. Both of the Romulans have, or both of the Klingons have armed themselves and have taken kind of like defensive points pointed towards the door that would go out into the rest of the facility. Who is the one that's going to access? I would say if two people want to do it, one person's probably going to need to do like control engineering, and the other person's going to need to do reason security.
I'm good at reason security.
Well, I'll
I
do the
mean,
control engineering if
Listen, my control engineering is 13, so I don't know if that's...
you said control engineering.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at a 14.
Okay, yeah.
And would my infiltration work on this?
Espionage, but yeah.
Espionage. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll do the control engineering roll.
And we roll 2, right? Because we're doing 2 separate.
Who wants to act as the primary here?
What's your 14?
So I'm at 14, and then a specialty of espionage.
Okay, so I'm at a 14 as well. So I guess it doesn't. Go ahead and do yours because you have the focus. So he's going to be the primary.
Cool.
And Rozrin will assist. So I'll roll one.
Rozrin will roll 1 dice, and it's a difficulty of 3.
Oh.
1. I got 1 success.
I got 1 as well.
Okay. So you start working through the comms have been kind of secured away from everything else, and you're having a lot of trouble between the two of you getting into them. What you can see is that there's a general dampening field that's been put down, and that there is a expectation that the Gaylor class ship will be back within the next half hour.
Ooh.
Oh boy, we got to get out of here.
Do we have any clue like where the I don't know, like the energy for the dampening field is, or where the comms relay or anything like that? Is there any way we could just blow it?
You could attempt to shut it down. That's definitely something you could do. That would be daring and engineering.
I mean, I've got a 14 in that. I can attempt it.
And I would say also espionage is going to apply.
Okay.
Can I assist?
Yeah, daring and engineering would work.
Sure hope so. All right, I'm going to attempt to take it out.
Okay.
I rolled a 1.
I rolled a 7, so I got.
So I got 2 successes, and with that specialty, actually, it's 3 successes. The specialty in espionage.
So that would normally get you another momentum, but we're capped.
Could we use that to get information on the sensors from the area so we can see if we can figure out where Faprosh is?
Faprosh has been playing cat and mouse. Like he keeps disappearing in between asteroids. He's being chased by the Cardassian ship that went out. But basically, he's just been flying around out there being a jackwagon.
So stuff he's good at.
Yeah.
Commander, so do we have the chance to beam everybody out of the ship? Because it's going to take us 3 different beam attempts to get everybody on board. Can we remotely launch the other shuttle to lure the other Cardassians off so that they give our shuttle a chance to get the beam? No?
Couldn't do it remotely. It has to be piloted.
We could, theoretically. There's no real reason that we need to rendezvous back with the Federation ship. The Klingons and the Romulan and I, we can take the other Cardassian shuttle, possibly. That'll slow down. Well, you can get 2 beam-ins, then probably. Might also take heat off of your pilot up there.
So we could send one of the shuttles basically to attack the other shuttle.
Yeah.
It's it'd be a lot harder for them to track 2 separate shuttles than to track 1.
Okay. The
And I don't
Rigelian,
mind stealing something from the Cardassians either.
the Rigelian kind of steps forward and says, "Sir," and he looks at like Chevron. Says, "I studied Cardassian ships. I could be of use over there, if that's okay."
I'll
I
look
mean,
too.
yeah, I mean, if that give us a chance to start beaming people aboard,
Yeah.
that would be helpful. And then when we're ready, we can just cut and run. You know.
So we have someone to pilot it who would like. We would need probably a gunnery officer or two.
Well, I assumed all three of the Klingons and the Romulan were also
Yeah.
going.
Okay.
Or yeah. So the 5 of them would go there, and then the rest of you would wait here to be beamed.
We can set a rendezvous point once we get off, get far enough away and out of to safety.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
Then I'm gonna look the. You said it was the Rigelian.
Uh huh.
I'm gonna look him, her,
Him.
him. I'm gonna look at him. I was like, you understand this could be a one-way trip for you, right?
It was already a one-way trip for me. I've been sitting in Dominion holding for years. This is no different.
You may need to see someone once you get back to Federation.
He kind of looks over at Chevron and says, "Yeah, the war, yeah, it has that, yeah."
I'll kind of clasp him on the shoulder and give him like a significant nod. And
So Rigelians are essentially giant turtle people,
yeah,
and not like nice turtle people, but like
Snapping turtle people
from like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Secret of the Ooze, the movie. That those
like
giant
Tokar.
Yeah, Tokar, like
yeah.
that kind of like he's like 7 foot tall, bulky, giant shell on the back.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, yeah,
Well, maybe forearm then, but you know.
yeah. I don't know.
So
yeah.
Okay.
oh.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, so all of the people we rescued are going to go on the shuttle?
No,
Except for the one.
the 2 humans and the Edosian are going to stay.
Okay, so basically the 2 Klingons, the Romulan, and so there's 4 of them going, and the guy
5 of them going. Well, 4 plus Morohl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Morohl's gonna go. Okay. All right, I got it. I got who's going now. All right.
I will hand. I'm just gonna call him Lieutenant Tokar now.
Nice. Yes.
Lieutenant Tokar. My phaser rifle. Kind of gesture to my arm that's not working. Can't really use it right now anyway, and it'll be in better hands.
Understood, sir. And then I assume the 5 of you guys just run off.
Yeah.
To the shuttles.
We'll I'll make sure that they have a rendezvous point for I don't know, an hour, 2 hours.
We just meet back where we met your ship to begin with.
Yep.
Same coordinates. Yeah.
On my honor, you'll get your man back.
I'll hold you to it.
Let's bolster up this doorway here for the torture room so we can bunker down.
Okay. So, what I need from Morohl, and we'll say, Haskins, why don't you roll for the Rigelian? He's got a 12 in fitness and security.
Okay.
So between the 2 of you, I need you to give me rolls, normal rolls. We're looking for as many successes as possible. Okay. Espionage or infiltration will apply. Unfortunately, as a no-named NPC, although he just gained 1, he has no focuses, but you're looking to roll under 12.
I got 1 success with a 12.
Okay.
I rolled a 20 and an 18. Is that 18 still in effect?
18
I'm glad
doesn't
you're
apply,
happy.
right? No,
okay.
No. 18 doesn't apply. It was only on 1 specific situation. So that's 1 success. You guys get about, I'd say, halfway to the shuttle bay, and come around a corner. You come to a hallway that tees. and you go left. And as you come around that corner to go left, to the right are Cardassians, and they start firing. And one of the two Klingons grabs your mek'leth, which isn't even like you haven't drawn it. It's still kind of sheathed. He draws your mek'leth and just runs at them. And says, "Glory for the Empire, run!" And like bowls into these like 4 Cardassians, clearly going to his death.
So I grabbed the Romulan, who's an idiot and probably not run. No, glory to the Empire. We run.
Okay. So the 4 of you continue on. You make it to the shuttle. Again, another 12. I need all right, Shawn, if you could roll for the Rigelian. 12 is your number.
Normal roll, so two d20s.
Yeah. So, and then we'll have Morohl. Why don't you roll a daring and con to see if you can get this kind of like up and running?
Okay, you said what again?
Daring and con.
Daring and con. Gotcha. Does anybody mind if I use momentum or anything?
Oh,
No, because I rolled 2 19s.
Okay.
Use the momentum.
So, I mean, because I'm pretty sure we're... are we at max on momentum or
We are.
no?
We are.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna
have some rerolls.
Rerolls have not been activated as channel point spins.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm gonna spend momentum. Roll another die. Any specialties I can use on this, or any focuses? Infiltration, espionage.
We'll say espionage. That's fine.
Yay!
Hot wiring in
So-
the shuttle is espionage, right?
4 successes.
Nice.
Whoa. Oh, okay.
Just checking. Yeah, I just wanted to see. Okay.
Yeah. So you get on the shuttle, like turn it on, get it prepped. What you realize you forgot to do was open the shuttle door. The Rigelian runs back out to do that.
I was just gonna shoot it open. Like that was. Open the door? Sure. Okay.
Okay, no, that's fine. You fire on the door. It blows open, but as it does, parts of it kind of explode off and hit one of your engines. We will see how bad that is later.
Okay.
But you take off. What I need from the other group. Let's have one of you do a daring engineering roll, which none of you are good at.
It's a new scene, right?
12.
It is. All your stress is gone. That's fine.
No, it's a new scene, so I can use. I'm not a doctor, and I can roll. It's a 15 for engineering rolls for me.
Okay. All right.
So what are you needing? What are we looking?
So this is to kind of connect with the Thames to beam at the right time.
All right. Are we good with me doing that, or
difficulty is going to be a 3?
Definitely could use an assist.
I can assist.
Yeah, I've only got a 10, so
Do we want to buy an extra dice?
probably.
Oh, what's the difficulty?
3.
3.
3.
Yeah, buy the die.
All right, I'm buying it.
Okay, that'll put us down to 4.
Yeah.
I got a 6, a 3, and 11.
Nice.
I got a 4.
So okay,
Awesome.
so that's 4. So that'll actually generate 1. You sync everything up appropriately at just the right time to beam out everybody but the 3 of you. Which was the plan. Like half the group one, half the group the other one.
Yeah.
What I need from go ahead.
Should we send Keed with the first volley so that he can start working on the
No, because I want all my player characters on that's the only reason, honestly. So the what I need from Commander Morohl is you're in space fighting, and we're not going to go through a whole space fight because that's just silly. You really just need to draw them off. Mm-hmm. So why don't we get you to give me a daring con roll? Nothing really applies here.
Yeah, I If I
As a
get the
focus.
chance, I'm basically going to just look for that that other Cardassian runabout that's trying to find the others in the asteroid field. Take a few pot shots at him, and then book it the other way.
Did you use your determination yet?
No, I have not.
You could use one of your values if you could find one that applies.
I mean, I got my places in the battlefield, honor his life, glory to the Empire. One of my guys just died screaming it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So cool. So you use your determination. You get 2 successes. This is going to be
Okay.
a 4 success requirement with a daring and con.
Okay.
We've got plenty of momentum if you
Oh,
want.
and I'm sorry. The ship can assist. It's got a 9 though, so we'll let Haskins roll for the 9.
Yeah, because I've been
And
rolling so great.
Anybody
I
care
know.
if I use a momentum there?
I'll go for
No,
go
I
for it.
don't.
Okay.
Go for it.
That'll put us down to 4.
All right. So I'm at daring and where am I rolling again? Daring and con.
Daring con.
Gotcha. Yes. Okay. So, and did you say one of my focuses applies?
None of them apply.
Okay. So 2 successes on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Plus
And
the
then
2
I got,
from. Yeah.
and then I rolled a 5.
Okay, so that's actually an extra success more than you needed.
Okay.
So that'll give you 1 back into the momentum pool, put you at 5. You take a couple of like solid shots and then like essentially blow your exhaust at them, making it hard for them to track you and the runabout at the same time. And I need another engineering roll, daring and engineering from the crew on the ground.
Um,
No, I'm tapped.
I will, because I have it again. I have my determination
Mm-hmm.
for every problem has a solution.
Sure.
So trying to find my way through this.
Sure. We're going to call it a difficulty of 3, so you're still going to need to roll daring and engineering and hope for 1
Okay.
success.
All right. How much?
5. We have
We have
5
5?
momentum. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna spend. Honestly, I'm gonna spend 2 or 3 so that I can get 2 dice.
Sounds
Everyone
good.
okay
That
with
puts us,
that?
yeah, everybody's fine with it. Put us down to 2.
Yep. All right. I got 1, 2, 3 successes on those dice.
Plus your
Plus
2.
the 2, so
Okay.
5.
So that'll be 2 more than you needed. The 3 of you beam onto the runabout. As you're getting, as soon as you're on board, Faproche says, we're going to go to warp, sir. Can I get, Morohl, can I get you to roll me a insight engineering roll?
Also, I rolled my veteran, and I don't get to keep it.
Cool. Okay.
Any focuses apply?
No, it's just a difficulty of 1, though.
1 success, but I also rolled a 20.
Fantastic.
Yep.
So, as
You're welcome.
as you realize that the runabout has beamed up everyone they're supposed to, you turn to the Rigelian and you're like, "Hey, warp, let's hit it." And he goes to, and there's an explosion in the back. Nobody's back there, but like it rocks the ship pretty hard. The Thames, you can see that the friendly Cardassian shuttle has blown an engine and likely is in danger of exploding completely.
Maybe I could have let the Rigelian just open the door. Nah, this probably has nothing to do with the fact that I blew the door open. So.
No, this has to do with the Rigelian, Shawn, rolling lots of complications.
Can we beam them?
You can. It's going to require one of you to roll engineering and daring. The ship can assist, but it is, let's just say, not good. I think that's the page.
Well, how many successes do we need?
Hold on just a second. You're going to need 4 successes.
So we do have 3 determination total, right?
Everyone has 1.
Just
Everybody
one?
got
Okay.
1. Yeah, you could earn more
Oh,
through
okay.
role play, but you start with 1. The ship can assist with oh, sorry, I'm gonna go find it. There they are. Nope, that's not it. Where's my ship sheet? I'm almost there, I promise. There it is. With sensors and engineering, which is a 7. So we need a daring and engineering from somebody else. That is not Morohl.
Well, I have a 12, so again, I'm willing to.
I have a 10. So
This is not a new scene.
No, I know. I'm like,
All
so
right,
we have
so
3 momentum left, right? No, 2.
you have 4.
4 momentum.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be.
I mean,
go for it.
yeah, I mean, use it.
All right.
Okay. How much are you spending?
I'm going to spend 3 momentum to get
Okay,
2
that'll-
additional dice.
Put us down to 1.
Is
Go
anybody
ahead.
rolling to assist?
Yeah, somebody can roll for the ship of 7.
Or
I'll roll
can they
for
assist
the ship.
themselves? If well, no.
No, it's a ship thing.
I'm rolling for the ship.
Go for it.
Oh, a 6.
Nice.
Sweet.
There you go.
So we can add that onto there. Sweet.
Okay. So that is I rolled a 2, so there's no chance that there's any of my focuses I could have.
No.
I can't kit bash the thing into working better.
Actually,
got 8.
given that your engineering has been broken because someone smashed into it earlier,
Mm-hmm.
I will allow kit bashing.
Excellent. So yeah, so Chevrin is just sort of grabbing bits and sticking them on, and then he takes the Ushan Tor, sticks it in, and uses it like a lever to pull. So I got
Nice.
a 2 and a 10,
awesome.
so that's 3 successes.
It's 4 total.
That's
Fantastic.
awesome.
So just as the other ship explodes, the 4 people on it materialize in the transporter
5
bay.
people on it, or is one of us going down?
The Klingon's already dead. He's back on the facility.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. It's too soon. It's too soon.
It's too
Too soon.
soon.
Too soon.
Gone but not forgotten. Well, I
Uh,
forgot about him, but you know what I mean.
The other shuttle explodes, and just as everything kind of like silences for a second, Lieutenant Verproche is just like hits the button and into warp you go. I think that's it for tonight. That's where we wanted to be. That
Nice.
kind of got our whole story arc. Real quick, Commander Morohl, what's your assessment of Dr. Haskins, since that was your primary goal here?
Yeah, he serves his house admirably. He probably could butt heads a little bit more often, but you should probably call your mother.
No, I'm aware she wants me to contact her.
Not only does your mother want you to contact her, I was sent with a directive from your house as a whole to assess you and then report back. What do you want me to tell them?
Why do they even care? They haven't contacted me in years. I was an embarrassment to the entire house.
I think they have a place for you if you're willing at least to hear them out. And I don't think they're even recommending that you step away from Starfleet. You know, everybody's got a home to go home to, whether they like it or not.
I got the distinct impression that they wanted to use me in my connections in Starfleet for their own gain, not for anything beneficial.
I mean, it's possible. What did that ancient human say? No man is an island. I mean, you can't keep your hands totally clean. Either talk to your house or not. My job's done. My honor's intact.
Tell them, give them your assessment. I'm not going to tell you not to. Go do your job. We'll see what comes of it. But I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do. I'm not sure if I'm reaching out or not. I just feel like she's doing this for her own gain, and it's not really any sentimental reasons for it. That she's going to use me to manipulate the house into a greater position, and I'm not really part of that game.
You know, as somebody who's been involved in the intelligence game for a long time, you can work both sides of the system. I could probably see how the Federation might find some use for somebody who has some close ties with the homeworld. Now, you didn't hear that from me because that sounds pretty treasonous, but yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't
Kaplach.
think I know Martok has changed some things, but and before you walk away, I'm gonna reach under the council and I'm gonna bring out a small flask of blood wine and hand it to you.
Looks at the bottle.
Hey, wait, that wasn't on the manifest.
I mean,
It's
I can
for
get
emergencies.
I can get these at home, but I appreciate the sentiment.
Oh, but that's doctrine blood wine.
Yeah. It's for really cleaning up those wounds.
Special doctor vintage.
But Kappa Commander, I look forward to seeing you again.
All right, so that is the Voyages of tonight. That has been for Friends and Honor. Yeah, thank you guys for coming out. Big thank you to our cast, especially our guest star, Ben. Ben's played some Star Trek, but this is his first time playing with Rook and Rasp, and we're really glad that he was here.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. I had a lot of fun.
It was great.
You were great. Hey, don't forget we got our upcoming shows. Tomorrow is Leaps and Bounties by Leaps and Bounties at 8 p.m. And then our next show is going to be on Sunday for Illuminated Page. That'll be episode 3. So you're only behind on 2.
Yep.
You could catch both of those and be all caught up on all of our shows. Don't forget to go over to our Facebook and Twitter, over to our Discord. I'm actually going to put the Discord in the chat because, you know, everybody should go over to Discord.
Oh, the Discord's
we have a
great.
good community there. We have good talks about nerdy stuff. Fantastic people. I really love the Discord community. And then check out our YouTube channel if you haven't gotten a chance to check that out and watch it. You should definitely go over and check out our past stuff. It's not even just Star Trek because you've got the whole first half of this season, but you also got some older stuff too. Some early series Let's Play when it was a podcast. Some of the older. It wasn't Growing Shadows. It was the other Ninja Crusade game, which is Wooden Dojo. There it is. Found it. Wooden Dojo's on there. You check all those out. They're just audio with picture, but hey, you're still gonna get the good story. So check all those out over at the YouTube channel. We will be back tomorrow with Danny running by Leaps and Bounties, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. If you live way over there.
You know what they say, red sky morning, sailors take warning.
I did not know that they said that, but it definitely sounds legit.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, thanks everybody for coming out, and we will talk to you real soon.
Yeah.
Oh, we are going to raid Tabletop RPG Theater, so stick around for that.
Awesome.
Are we still on, John?
Okay, cool.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
All right.